Simply wow me. I'd never done more than I could see. I'm gentle as a ram, they take me for a ram. Oh, they're wild, simply wild over me. Oh, the bulls, they go wild over me. Hell, they're gambling where everyone can see. He's breathing rather hard when he saw my young car. He went wild, simply wild over me. What, you don't want to be over here? You don't want to be over here, buddy? You want the chair that I set up for you, that you always love. That you always love to sit in, because you're a little weird like that. Well, that would probably explain it. It's probably busted there. Okay. You really don't want that spot, do you? You'd rather just sit there, huh? Jerk. Oh my god. I'm to the point where this shit is not like long enough to fucking keep staying formed up, but sure enough to where it wants to fuck with my lips. God love it. So, if you don't want to be on your little chair, you goof. I guess not. Little prick. Oh, look at you. You're a little prick, you know that? Look at you. Look at you. You'd rather sit there, away, and hiding in a corner. Lame. Boo. Okie dokie. Get myself a bowl loaded up. Smoke that up all day night. Man, you jerk. Doesn't want to hang out over here. Rather be over there. You suck. Definitely give it a little bit of time for chilling in on my little fun topics of the day. It was basically just mostly on fucking cops. Like, honestly. So, that's what puts on my mind. How police suck, and how they essentially are the last thing you should rely on when it comes to fucking anything. Man, too bad a spider isn't up there. There's a fucking bug near that light. And the spider decided to be like, nah. I'm gonna explore the floor tomorrow. Or yesterday. Now whatever fucking bugs are up there are staying up there. Lame. Lame. But, ba-ba-da-ball. Who's this? New York Working Families Party endorses Nadler over Maloney? Maloney? What fucking name is Maloney? Okay, I gotta read this article. What the fuck? New York Working Families Party endorses Nadler over Maloney. Progressive New York Working Families Party, WFP, on Wednesday endorsed Jerry Nadler in his re-election. And amid a contentious member versus member primary that has pitted Nadler against Carolyn Maloney. Carolyn Maloney. What a name. Maloney, dude. Wow. Well, who's this Nadler guy then? I mean, if the Working Families Party endorses him, then surely has my support. the New York WFP director, Soshi Nameka? I butchered that. I just already know. Wrote in a statement that Nadler has been a powerful voice for reform of the Supreme Court, matching our justice system, and putting diplomacy and engagement over war and aggression. Okay. We're proud to support Congressman Nadler in the 12th congressional district. Man, there's been a lot of fucking congressional districts that have been added. Has fought by side for civil and immigration rights, improved fast food working conditions, paid sick leave for New York City workers, and a living wage for all. Cool. So, definitely a guy that I would be down with. What's his full name again? Jerry Nadler. This dude looks like an old-ass, like, Teamsters union boss or some shit. Like, if I'm watching, like, a 70s documentary about, like, the Teamsters or something, I imagine this dude would be, like, a boss for the Teamsters that'd be like, yeah, here to discuss what we're going to be, you know, trying to push for a contract or some shit. He just has that look. There's always something about, like, the 50s through, like, the 80s of, like, old union bosses that literally just look like the ugliest motherfuckers that have ever existed, but yet we're also some of the most flaming militant about it, too. So, kind of wonder if he has, like, kind of the same geist about it. Hope he does. But hey, I hope he has a victory. Better than any other fucking typical corporatist, essentially.
You want to see something weird I learned?
Want
to see something weird I learned?
Something weird?
Yeah.
Oh, you can take it off?
Mm-hmm.
Probably makes it easier to wash the thing.
It's just magnetized. That's all I know.
Oh.
You know who showed me that? Sarah's mom.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
She just like, oh, you know this is a magnet, right?
This is a magnet, right? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, it's magnetized. She pulled it off, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding
That
me?
makes it nice to
wash it, yeah.
Yeah.
So like nothing gets done.
Right, yeah.
Well, see, because I was trying to wash it one day, and I'm like, how the fuck do you get that? And I'm trying to sit there, and I'm just like, what the fuck is not coming off? And then she showed me, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, fucking retarded.
Something as simple as just like you just have to like pull it off hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it. But that's kind of a cool little feature, though.
Yeah, I think all of them have it. How come you're on your chair?
I don't know. I don't know why he's not.
Where's he even a towel over there for you?
I know. I set it up to make it all nice, and he's like, fuck you. I'm gonna be right there instead. Boo, bro. Boo. I mean, I guess you're right next to me, so I can give you some loves. Some rubs and love cuddles. And I don't think the little retriever girl next door wants you to get all up in her business.
What was your name again?
I shit you not, chicken.
Chicken?
I am not fucking kidding, yes.
Why the fuck would you name a dog Chicken?
I don't know, but that's the name of her dog, yeah.
The fuck's on your neck?
Hmm?
There's like a spot on your fucking neck right there. And you're just like, yeah, whatever.
But, nah. Because he was trying to get all lickety about her, yeah, her shit, and she was just like, trying to sit down, and every time he would do that, she would be like, do this, like, look of like, what the fuck are you doing?
What do you want, motherfucker? Oh.
Though they were both being very friendly with each other, like, she wasn't being aggressive, she was just all like, what the hell? No!
That normally happens.
I don't want that yet.
Normally happens.
Little silly boy. You just want to make shepherd, collie, retriever puppies, don't you? I mean, I'll spice up the mix in him, I guess.
You know what's funny? I was looking on my schedule. And for 2 days, on Friday and Saturday, you know what time my boss has me scheduled? 6 to 11.
Well, is it how it always is?
No, 7 to 11.
Oh, so an hour extra.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, do you know you scheduled me 32 hours in 2 weeks? Because it's 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 3 days of 8.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fucking 32 hours. You want me to work 32 fucking hours?
I mean,
when you always bitch, you don't get that many fucking hours for work?
so he's scheduling other people more, but yet he won't schedule himself more?
Nobody's there at fucking 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. Nobody.
Nobody?
Dude, I've been there at fucking 6 o'clock. Nobody's there. We open up at fucking 9.
Yeah.
Except for fucking Sunday, we open up at fucking 10.
Yeah. Because Sundays are like a earlier day to close up and shit.
Yeah, we open at 10 and we close at 6.
Yeah.
The rest of the days we were open from 9 to 9.
It's just like, we'll just have you show up like 2 hours early before the place opens. Like, I mean, why would you need to be like 2 hours? I could see an hour early, but like 2 hours? It's like...
No, because my job starts at 7.
Yeah.
I start at 7.
Which is an hour before everything else. Yeah.
2 hours.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because I have to clean downstairs and upstairs.
And then, yeah.
But do you know how long he says it should take me to clean 2 bathrooms downstairs?
How long?
45 minutes each.
Each?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't take that long to clean 2 bathrooms.
Takes me 20.
I mean, yeah, honestly.
Like, literally,
it shouldn't take that, unless there's like a fucking mess in there, it shouldn't be that hard. Just wipe some shit down and clean whatever stains might have been left over on the ground from people not pissing right. I mean, pretty
I have to clean the toilet seats and all that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, just wiping shit down and all that.
And sinks and dinner every day and change out garbage and wipe down the stalls every day. It's just like, holy fuck, dude. I can get everything done.
I mean,
the way it's supposed to be.
Not in 45 minutes.
20 minutes.
I can probably, yeah. I mean, you could probably do it even a little, probably quicker than that, maybe, just depending.
I also heard that my boss might be leaving.
Oh, uh-oh. So that means that you're going to probably have another one, and who knows how that one will be, basically.
I already know him. He works at my work.
Oh, so it's just...
The guy I get the pepperoni from?
Uh-huh.
He would be my boss.
Oh, so he's, that guy's getting...
He's fucking hella chill.
Okay.
And he knows me well enough that he knows what I'm doing.
And he knows your shit,
and he knows that I can get it done easy. But knowing him, if it came down to the fact that if Joel does get my position, and I start getting everything done in time, he'll give me more stuff to do that is out on the floor instead of
just
not around.
Yeah. Just sitting on your ass, basically,
Yeah. No, not really. Probably one of me sees me on my ass. What are you doing? It's like, do you realize my shit is done and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you want me to do now?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Dude, he's like, hey, I need you to do this, this, this. And then Rhonda, who's receiving, she's like, hey, when you get time, can you do this? No, she asked me if I have time later on when I get my stuff done to do it.
At least it's like, hey, when you get the time, instead of like, hey, can you do this for me? Without really recognizing that, you got other shit going on.
Well, see, this is what I figured out, is that we're getting all new bathrooms.
Oh, so getting like total new upgrades on it.
We're going to have no paper towels. They're eliminating our paper towels and going everything Dyson.
So just like air dry?
Yeah. Hand dryers.
I mean, like, at least, like, even then I still have at least one.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah. But even then...
You also got to realize, if it does happen when he's there, oh my god, it's going to be a fucking shit show. Because he literally says, he's like, well, once these bathrooms are new, it's going to be spotless. I'm like, you're going to suck my cock, right?
Well, I mean, when they get first put in there, yeah, but also there's going to be probably people complaining about, like, hey, where are all the paper towels or blah, 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 and it's like, we just, because now, and then, which might add to the messiness, because then there's going to be, like, dry water residue everywhere.
I'm going to look at people and they, you're the janitor. Yeah, for the paper towels.
We don't have any more.
We don't have any more.
Yeah, they just stopped giving them.
No, they
discontinued.
They discontinued. They didn't discontinue it. They fucking changed it.
Yeah. Just because of how the bathrooms all changed up. Yeah, just don't got them anymore. which is stupid. But I mean, I would, because at the very least, I would think, you know, having at least
Well, see, this is
maybe not like set up in there, but like, you know, maybe put some on the side or some shit. But
there's actually 2 phases to our fucking remodel. Literally.
2 phases.
And I don't hear word one about this shit. I hear about this shit when my boss comes in. Which, I didn't see my boss last week, which I'm kind of pissed about.
So, not exactly that much communication.
No, I fucking dropped a fucking board on his foot.
Oh. Well, not, I mean, I'm not mean, like, with that, like, because obviously it seems like your boss is being communicated, but other people don't really seem like they want, you know, let others know.
No, this is like my store manager.
Yeah.
He's the only one that communicates.
You think, especially if there's, like, shit that's going on in the store, be like, hey, just let you know this stuff's happening. Like an Ecolab walkthrough for us. It's like, yeah, you'd probably want to make sure everybody in the store knows about that so they're not caught off guard when they're like, oh, fuck, we should have been deep cleaning stuff when we've been sitting on our ass like half the day or something. Not expecting it.
They don't deep clean at all.
Yeah, well, it's also it's not primarily a food environment, so it's not as strong of a necessity to do it either.
No, we have food there.
Well, I mean, not like we do, you know, like, obviously you got, like, some food there and stuff, but not, like, on the same level of, like, you're having it cooked up and prepped and having, like, a hot case. Yeah, you know, it's not the same thing.
But still, they were always bitching about the fucking COVID, and it's just like, yeah. It took me nagging my boss for 2 months to get new mop heads.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yes. 2 months. Dude, there's like a perfect circle on your fucking neck. That's funny. There's a perfect circle on your fucking neck. That's funny.
Did not think that would be there, but motherfucker, I'm not surprised.
I don't care.
I know you don't give a fuck.
I've never given a fuck, dude. You're like my brother.
I know. I just find it amusing that it's just like every fucking time that.
No, it's like literally perfect circle.
I know. It's what funny about it. It's just like. It usually tends to be the case, like, alright, my buddy crashes over at the night, and he usually, when he's not sleeping in here, there's always one of these fucking things on here. It's just like, motherfucker.
Get off my face, fucker. Get off my face, what the fuck? I just mute that, so we can't hear this, because I don't put anything on fucking blast. Is it muted? Is it muted?
Well, no, it's just been...
Oh, Chad.
Yeah.
With who?
I mean, it's just...
Venom.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just been quiet right now, but I just started not too long ago either.
Oh, I didn't know.
I started like 15-something minutes ago. Like, I started pretty much like right when you walked in. Yeah. So... Sometimes it takes a while for things to kind of, you know, roll in and all that shit.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Same way today, too. Honestly, probably just because didn't really hydrate myself too much yesterday, and plus just doing the...
Neither did I. My fucking kidney, my fucking eye was hurting this morning. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have done that.
Yeah. At least last night, by the time everything was all wrapped up, I tried to hydrate myself a little bit, and at least tea helps with that, too. I've just been drinking this all day. Gonna take at least...
I've been in and out of consciousness. that fucking last night when I fucking passed out, I was like, okay, whatever. Then woke up, fucking feeling like a hangover. It's just like, fuck me, I hate drinking.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. That's
because that shit. If I drink beer, it fucks me up.
Yeah.
If I don't drink beer, if I drink malt liquor, it doesn't fuck me up. I'm just like, fuck. But that's the only beer I can really drink, is Kiso. I can't drink any other beer, it tastes like shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, because at least for me, like...
I can't drink IPAs, they fucking taste...
Well, yeah. Disgusting. I mean, IPAs are more of a acquired taste. I used to hate them, but now I actually love them a lot. But,
the only beer...
Have you ever had, like, Rolling Rocks? Because I was...
I've never had Rolling Rock, I heard it's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, when it comes to like the, like I guess like low end beers and stuff, is that for me at least?
Rolling
It's
Rock's
one.
really not low end beer. But
That's what I mean.
What I
Like,
heard is Keystone. Keystone's basically just an off brand of like Coors Light.
well, it says it's brewed by Coors, so yeah,
It's like bottom barrel of
Coors based.
Coors, but it tastes better than Coors.
Yeah, because
Yes,
I've had Coors
I'm
and that
sitting
shit was
in your fucking
rank.
chair, dog.
Bud Light's fucking rank as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking like, yeah. I mean, there's a
Coors
lot.
Light tastes like shit. PBR tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Well, when I started drinking, it was more of Corona.
Browns are okay.
Corona you have to have lime for.
Yeah, they kind of need like a lemon or a lime, preferably a lime.
It always needs a lime.
Yeah. I mean, it's always advertised, on like TVs and shit with a lime. So I mean, it's kind of like the norm to at least have a couple limes and shit.
It's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started, it was more like with liqueurs and stuff like that. So I think that's where a lot of my more, acquired taste for other stuff came into play.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely more.
Mine's more Southern Comfort and Jack.
Yeah, and like for me, it's like, I mean, I don't drink liqueurs a lot, but I definitely have a palate for it. Like gin, scotch, vodkas for sure.
I mean, we drink
whiskeys.
We drink our cider boys and Two Towns. And
yeah, like I mean, yeah, like that's pretty much the primary thing, just because it's the most easy accessible thing. But also, it's at least for me, especially, it's nothing that fucks me up too hard, and I can have a pretty decent amount and feel pretty good. That's also how I feel about like a lot of liqueurs, unless I get really into it, like go on a binge night or something. But usually, I mean, at least lately, I haven't even done that outside of.
You only do it when I had it.
Yeah, yeah. There was, I think, one the last time was a few, but
it was also
for like a series. Yeah, it was during that time, and which at least made me feel better. But I think the time before that was when I had like moonshine and some other shit, and I literally did not eat a fucking thing that day.
Oh,
and
God,
I had
that fucked you up.
Yep, and I had a bunch of moonshine and a bunch of other shit.
Well, see, that's when you usually, if you do something like that, you're gonna, that you're gonna like, okay, well, we'll have steak, potatoes, and corn, and then your stomach's fucking full, and you're just like, okay, I can just sip on this.
Yeah, none of that happens. It was just like, I mean, it was basically just mostly like drink, some weed, and then like maybe some like a snacking on a thing here and there. But it was primarily just like.
Oh, that was the same thing with me when I was outside. I didn't have anything. I just went straight and bought a case. And I mean, I can eat something, and then I can have 4. Feel fucked up for a little bit. Wait for it to get over, and have a couple more.
Yeah.
But
it's generally how I could feel.
It was the day I did it. It was fucking hot. That's probably why.
Yeah. Because if I don't eat anything and have some, can't have as much because then my stomach will start feeling all weird. But I mean, because at least that's why I want to grab a burrito right when I opened it, the first one, because it's like, okay, at least for this, I know I'm gonna need some food first before I get tipsy on this, because this is not gonna make me feel too good.
No, if my boss is at work tomorrow, I'll be like, do you really want me here at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, for real. So, like, I definitely, like, I mean, it doesn't seem necessary, especially if, like, the store doesn't even open yet, but, like, 2 hours, even. It's like, it's not even, yeah, 3, yeah, so it's like, if it opens at 9, there's not even a point.
You want me here at fucking 3? You want me here fucking 3 hours early?
I mean, like, the only thing I could think of for something like that is if, like, there's, like, some serious, like, stock and shit that needs to happen before it opens or something.
Nobody's there to fucking do it, and I'm not going to do all of it.
Exactly. Like, I mean, so, if anything, that's probably why he's trying to do that, but there ain't going to be no one to show up for it, so it's outside of maybe, like, 1 or 2 people.
Well, there's not going to be anybody there to show me what the fuck I need to stock out.
That, too. So, it's just, like... a little SOL with trying to, getting that shit organized.
Are we gonna have a fire tonight?
Hmm?
Were we gonna have a fire tonight?
I think my friend was coming by again, but I think because he crashed tonight, he decided probably not coming over again tonight. So
Probably.
boo. There we go. Cool. And YouTube is not doing many favors with notifications for tonight, is it? It's probably actually my fucking YouTube title. It's probably the title of the fucking thing.
What?
Just the like when I name my streams, I just name it like what pop up, whatever's the first thing in my head. And I did pigs aren't pigs aren't friends. They're food. I think. Hey, let me see. Is that what it? Yeah, pigs are food, not friends. So it's probably just like, this is probably, you know, something that the algorithm does not support, so we're just going to, you know, just not have a boast of that. It's just like, boo, fuck you. YouTube's never been exactly fond of me in my unorthodoxy. Here, put some background music up, you know? You lost your chance for that share, you know that, right? You've lost your opportunity, you little prick. Now you want to try to get in on the chair, huh?
No! Stop! Okay.
You silly goofball. Yeah, I told you lost your chance, bro. Oh my god, look at you. You're ridiculous. You goofy baby boy. What are you staring at? Like, what is up there for you to look at? A few days ago, there was a spider out there for him to be staring at. But then last night, the spider was over here. So I'm assuming next time, that spider's probably going to be on the ground somewhere. Doing its thing. And it's just like, damn. Why are you so mesmerized at staring at random things? You goofy baby. Yeah, you just love that little head screech, don't you? You love head screeches. You're loving your head screeches. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you love that, you sweet baby. Goofy little boy. What type of community post question is this? Was Jar Jar Binks offensive to Jamaicans? Was Jar Jar Binks offensive to Jamaicans? Was Jar Jar Binks offensive to Jamaicans? That just straight up a community post I'm seeing on YouTube right now. It's just yes, no, or unsure. I'm clicking unsure because I don't even understand the whole premise of it. Is there like context I'm missing about that? When like the prequels came out, did some Jamaicans out there were just like, hey, Jar Jar's imitating our accent. Fuck you. It's you know, I want to see like what I want to see what it comes. Nothing about Jar Jar gave me the impression he was Jamaican. I mean, what the fuck? Seriously, I don't get it. Yes, Caribbean people are not easily offended. We would actually be happy to get any sort of representation. I don't think they would be happy if it was Jar Jar Binks form. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing, though. So, at least from the people that I've met who are Caribbean, or at least come from that area, it's true. They tend not to be easily offended by anything. If anything, they're more down to, you know, get down some jokes and actually, you know, like, be more like, oh, hey, let's have like a little equal opportunity back and forth and have fun type of shit. I have like goodwill and stuff more than anything, so. Someone straight up like, I'm Jamaican. It's the first time I'm hearing about Jar Jar Binks being Caribbean. Same here. I don't even understand it. I didn't even make this association until I saw this just now. Man, dude, people are fucking just like, what the fuck? But I guess there's 12% of people that do say yes. I wonder who those 12 people are, and I wonder what their reasoning is to it. Because that's odd. I can see the unsure, because I can see how people are confused as fuck by that. Yeah, the results to this, like, weird question is, like, 12 people say yes, it is offensive. 65% of people say no, it ain't. And 23% of people are, like, unsure about it. About if Jar Jar Binks is offensive to Jamaicans. And most people are either like, yeah, it's not, or they never even thought about that until they saw the question. And I'm one of those people that never thought about it until I saw the question, so. Here's another meme. Do cigarettes expire? No, cigarettes don't expire, but the person smoking them does. Oh. Oof. Non-smokers. The person that wrote this. Smokers. Damn. Damn. Rip. Setting up an alarm. Just gotta make sure it's nice, loud, and annoying. Zukov, what you doing? Little dorky Zukov. Hey, what are you doing? Are you fucking kidding me? Another one? Another shooting, this time in fucking Tulsa? Several injuries and multiple deaths have been reported in another mass shooting. Near a medical facility? A medical facility this time? What the fuck? Let me... I love the first comment. Can't wait to hear about all the prayers, moment of silence, and complete lack of material change that will result from this. I'd love to be wrong, but honestly, I can't help being pessimistic. Yeah. You'll be okay, Dulce. Tons of thoughts and prayers are coming your way. Those solve everything. Oh my god, everyone's just trolling this shit now at this point. Because everyone knows nothing's gonna fucking happen out of this. Like, apparently, like, the House is also trying to push a federal legislation bill when it comes to gun reforms, and honestly, it's just like, it's very mixed on like how effective it could be anyway, and even then, it's just like, it's not gonna fucking go anywhere. Mainly because also I think it's trying to do like too much shit at once, so, you know, because then a lot of Republicans are just gonna be like, no. Yeah, just right off the bat. So, especially, you know, knowing that there are some that are kind of starting to change their tune a little bit about this. I mean, it's best, you know, to at least, you know, get some of the very basics out of the way. Like, it did get some of that shit. Like, there was some solid stuff in there, like raising the age of firearm purchases from 18 to 21, and more rigid background checks, having better red flag laws established, and amongst other shit. And then there's just a bunch of shit that really didn't fucking, like, that wasn't, it doesn't do anything. Like, we're gonna do, like, the seizing and banning of manufacturing, imports, or sales, and ownerships of, like, high-capacity magazines, stuff like that. And it's just like, I mean, it's like stuff like that just isn't gonna do anything. Like, that type of, like, legislative ideas are just fucking worthless. Because people can still do these fucking shootings with 10-round magazines or whatever the fuck. Like, it doesn't really do much. I mean, it's just so fucking ridiculous how state affairs are about shit. Things that need to fundamentally change and shift and get done that can help for the betterment of everybody, nothing happens. But... and even if it does, it's something that gets shut down really quickly and then gets undermined and essentially just stalled, and then nothing really actually happens with it. Like trying to do this gun reform legislation, it's just like that. I mean, I'd like to see something like that get done, but that's just not, to knowing how the system is currently, it just won't. If it does something that helps the betterment of the lower class strata, it doesn't get through. Or if it does, and make sure it gets watered down to the point it's just more so of a token gesture than anything. No way to prevent this, says the only nation where this regularly happens.
I think that's a little hot.
If you reform gun control, they'll find another way to kill people. It's easier to outrun a knife or a bullet. It's not about the guns, it's about the mental health. That's why you cut mental health funding. There are way too many doors. We should have one door in and out of buildings guarded by police. Fire code. Also, why should this even be an option? Why should we stop it? Any acts preventing the act happening in the first place? I mean, seriously. Turns out thoughts and prayers don't actually stop bullets. Who would have thought? Damn, these comments are too good. I gotta love it. One country where it's like, hey, there's a thing that's happened on a very strong, regular basis. We should probably do something about that. It's like, nah. Something actually is being proposed about that. Let's not actually do anything about it. How are we gonna pay for that, actually, by the way? Even though we're practically sending like $40 billion to Ukraine pretty much like every other week. But we just somehow can't get the funding to help invest in the betterment of, you know, things domestically here. Just can't do that. innocent. Hazel golf. You have like some rice stuck on your lip. So a little fluff. Oh, what the fuck? Oops. You know, honestly, considering this latest shooting was at a fucking, like, medical facility, I'm honestly kind of wondering what the it's like, at this rate, what the fuck was the motive behind this one? Might as well see, I guess, see if there is anything. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Gunman's also dead. Authorities believe shooter's gunshot wound was self-inflicted. Several people lost wounded, though no one has life-threatening injuries. And yet there's some people dead. Okay. Dispatch received a call about an active shooter at the Natalie Medical Building, a physician's office building on St. Francis Hospital campus shortly after 4:50. Officer responded to the scene within minutes and made contact with the victims. Suspects roughly 5 minutes later. Officer eradicated shots inside the building, which directed them to the second floor. The scene was fairly limited to one section of that floor. On the second floor, at least part of the scene was an orthopedic office on that floor. Investigators are interviewing witnesses that were in the building. One witness was found locked in a closet. Said they're getting close to identifying the suspect, so yeah, we just don't know who it is. Had one rifle and a handgun with him. How in the fuck did he get in there with a rifle? The handgun I could see. Like, how did he waltz all... This shit would have started on the first floor. Okay. Did he just have, like, a bag or something like that? Or, like, a short carbine rifle or something? Like, one of those shorter rifles?
Survival rifle?
Well, like, you know, like a carbine rifle of a sort, but not like a full-on, like, you know, long rifle, so to speak. Because I'm trying to figure out how would he be able to, like, get onto the second floor, and so I'm trying to piece this, how this shit started, and it sounds like it probably started in the office or something. Probably due to, like, you know, some knowledge that was dropped that, you know, like, fucking made this person snap. But, like, the handgun thing I get, because, like, oh, I just have one, you know, for concealed carry or whatever the fuck. But like, it makes me wonder if there's, like, some premeditation shit or what. Like, I mean, we don't know who it is or anything yet, so. Authorities were not finding anything, but, no, okay, yeah, that's pretty much not much mentioned. The women at the Tulsa Police Department did not yesterday. Well, evidently these ones didn't. They looked at Uvalde and were like, we're doing shit. We're not gonna, like, sit around and get fucked on like they did. Yeah, like, I can imagine, yeah, they're doing something. After Uvalde, yeah. Like, they don't want to get the same raft that they, you know, that the police are there getting. They want to be like, Ella drunk up beer, a little bit of weed. Hey, nice. Though what's not as nice is this new info bomb that I just discovered about, if you haven't heard about it yet. You heard what happened in Tulsa? For like the last like 4 or 5 hours, it's pretty much been like the latest thing, as you could probably imagine, of what the fuck is about. And so, no, I haven't. Oh, well, I mean, basically, it's just another fucking shooting, of course, because America. But this time it was at a medical facility in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And given the information I read about it just now, it sounded like it started on the second floor. Dude had a rifle and a handgun, and honestly, that's pretty much about it. Multiple injuries, but so far the ones that are injured aren't life-threatening. There's 4 dead. I mean, it's just basically, open info at this point. And just mostly speculative at this rate. Beyond that, 5 dead. Oh, it went to 5 now? Yeah, what I read was like, the injured people don't have life-threatening injuries. Bullshit, because, 4 plus the shooter? Oh, well, okay. Well, I knew the shooter was, dead. From what they said, it looked like self-inflicted. And if my theory about it, at least on the vague level, is like the person got some knowledge about something medically that might have been like something terminal or something that would have just put the person in, in fucking, like severe medical debt or something. Like this person, like my idea is this person had knowledge dropped on him, and snapped because of it. Gun control fuck the shit. Yeah, it's telling me. I mean, I'm an enthusiast myself when it comes to guns, but fuck, like, there needs to be goddamn, like, something when it comes to, restriction of accessibility and making sure that this shit, stops. Like, it's getting, like, even, like, for me, like, I mean, it's saying, like, there's a line in the sand of how many is okay, but frankly, it's just, like, the fact that, especially on such a fucking common basis, it's getting, like, I mean, we gotta do something. I mean, honestly, that's just like, how I feel about it. It's like, is anyone gonna do that? Is anyone gonna, be the guy that Keanu Reeves singing to, being like, we gotta do something? So I'm doing that. Apparently the cops did a better job this time, unless they changed the story again. They responded within 5 minutes. So far, from what I have read, it looked like they straight up didn't hesitate. So it looked like, they did actually respond and actually took immediate action. 5 minutes, cops usually have a cop hanging around. Yeah, so my guess is that there probably was, and there was probably a couple others that happened to be near the area. Or their police station just happens to be near this place. I know the hospital next to me happens to be near the police station, so if shit went down there for whatever fucking reason, cops would be there like that. Like, not even 5 minutes. Like, like, it'd probably be within a minute or 2. 5 minutes is fine in my opinion. 1 hour is fuck you, get chucked out of Roblox window. No shit, man. Tots and Paz. Tots and Paz. Don't worry, Tulsa. You got some Tots and Paz, Thoughts and Prayers, and, we're just, we're just thinking and we're praying. Don't worry. Don't worry, Tulsa. You're okay. We solved everything for you. But yeah, like, honestly, at this fucking rate, the fact that we don't have, like, 21 and up for, firearm purchases across the board, some strict, like, safety classes and, quizzes and shit when purchasing one, on top of, very, quick, but yet very rigid and strict, background checks. It's like the fact that we don't have like these federalized standards and shit, especially in a country where we just don't give a fuck about it, apparently, where it's just so fucking easy. Like, you know, I've said it before, but I thought it was a little too easy getting my last firearm. I was like, wait, just the next fucking day? It's like, yeah, it's okay, pick it up. It's like, that felt too easy. It's just like, you know, I'd rather go for extra shit. I don't mind having, like, you know, firearm safety quiz and going for, like, you know, actual, like, safety shit and all this stuff. I don't mind going for, like, the extra jumps, you know, to get it. Like, I don't mind doing that. I want that, if anything. It's just, you know, because it helps weed out people that might not necessarily be, one, safe or responsible with them, or two, just shouldn't have them in the fucking first place. Because there might be people that might be mentally sound, but are just too stupid with them. Where they're like, hey, check me out with me, 5 beard in, shooting off my plinking cans, and oh, I shot my fucking leg by accident because I'm not, you know, fucking having barrel safety and band on trigger and all that shit. Like, you're gonna get fucking morons like that. That, well, all in all, might be sound, but they're not exactly safe. They're like fucking chuckle fucking klutz. You know, it's like you probably just don't want those type of people having them either. It's like, you know, like, I mean, because I know plenty of people that aren't necessarily, like, you know, gonna snap or anything like that, but probably aren't necessarily safe with them either. You know, where I probably don't trust them with it just based on the fact that I might accidentally get shot with it. Not intentionally, but still, it's just like, some people, I just definitely believe there are some people that probably just shouldn't have a period. It's just like, fuck. Is this our... this fucking mosquito. I'm burning you, bitch! Get out of here! We're currently trying to confirm Tulsa is indeed in Oklahoma. Bear with us, CNN. Toss get to eat pears that didn't shot by the GOP after. Yep. And honestly, one thing I definitely hate is that there's a lot of people that will look at this type of shit and be like, you know, and still be like, no, boo, you know, when it comes to, like, any regulations or some shit. But then we'll use certain excuses like, you know, but, you know, I'm just, like, an enthusiast, or, just, you know, and all that shit. It's like, shut up. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for enthusiasts like me. It's like, shut up. It's like, I hate it when motherfuckers, you know, want to, like, try to lump, you know, just casual enjoyers of them like me versus, you know, whatever weird fucking fetishized hobby they got going on, where it's like, yeah, you have an itch to literally, like, you know, go up against Gov one day because, you know, of its tyranny and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bitch, you're not going to be able to fucking go after Gov with your AR. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a nice, you know, it might be a nice little piece and it might be a good shot with it, but, like, the Gov got fucking, like, 37mm cannons, like, fucking big-ass artilleries, drones. It's just like, I mean, your AR ain't gonna do shit to a Predator drone. So it's just like, honestly, it's like, good luck, bro. You know, it's like that. I find it a little funny when people try to take a little extra step with it, thinking they're gonna be like the big bad macho or some shit. It's like, pipe down. It's like, I get it, they can be fun, but it's like chill. Hear about the other two? Jesus fucking Christ. And I guarantee you there's more than that. Honestly, I saw a human support video. Well, I didn't see it yet, but I saw it, like, recommended to me. Here, let's, you know, we'll check it out, because, there's been a lot. Video is, this is how many shootings, or how many mass shootings America's had since Uvalde. So, I don't think this necessarily accounts for Tulsa yet, but, I mean, I guess we'll see. This was uploaded, what, like 13 hours ago? Yeah, so it won't count for Tulsa.
And I want you to take a moment to just try to guess how many mass shootings have happened since the mass shooting in Uvalde. Just take a moment to think it over.
You know what? Yeah. Let's take a guess. How many? So there's at least 3. There's at least for sure
17.
Probably like 18, 19 now at this point. Over 100. I mean, damn. It's Rip City being pessimistic with it, but, you know, not that much. but it'll probably get there within a month or so if we just keep, you know, having the same old, we gotta do something. Over 900? Oh my god, even worse. Oh my god, so it's, I mean, it hasn't been like that fucking, over 9,000! Over 9,000!
17. We've had 17 mass shootings since last Tuesday.
Well, I'm guessing you already read an article about it or something. Oh, you just took a guess?
I just took a guess.
Oh, well, you were right on the ball. But because of Tulsa, that's at least 18 now.
Yeah.
So that's technically at this point inaccurate as of today.
Of them took place over Memorial Day weekend.
I was off a bit.
14 to be exact. And those are the mass shootings that we're going to focus on in this video, referencing this article from The Hill. Now, you might not have heard about them because our culture has...
And that's a good thing. Well, yeah. Honestly, like, that's why I said, like, you're being a little... I was like, damn, going even more pessimistic than I would. Because honestly, like, if I didn't really know about, like, you know, these other ones, I probably would have guessed maybe, like, 20 or some shit, or maybe 25. But, I mean, well, I guess it's close, but, I mean, it's... I mean, the fact that it's not 0 is a problem. I mean, it should have been 0 when fucking Columbine happened. And even then, it's not even the first fucking school shooting that happened, too, by the way. There was one back in the 70s. I forgot her name, but it was actually a girl that did it. And I remember on the... there was, like, some little newspaper blurb that was on... that interviewed her about it. And she literally did it basically because she was... she thought Mondays were extremely boring and sucked, and she hated school, so she wanted to make it exciting. That was pretty, like, not verbatim, but that was basically her logic with it. and it was back in, I think, in like the mid or late 70s, I think. So it's just like, I mean,
Can you believe it's been 1 year since the fire?
Which one?
The one in Oregon?
There's been a lot.
The really bad one?
Yeah. I know that one.
Oftentimes, they go unreported or underreported. Oftentimes, they're not as severe as other mass shootings, so people don't talk about them as much, but make no mistake about it, they are happening very, very frequently, more frequently than people actually know about. So as The Hill reports, more than a dozen mass shootings took place as the U.S. marked Memorial Day. The incidents over the 3-day holiday weekend saw 9 people killed and 63 injured in the wake of the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. According to estimates from the Gun Violence Archive, 14 mass shootings took place over the 3-day weekend from Saturday to Monday in 10 different states across the country, including California, Michigan, Texas, and Illinois. The watchdog added that there have been 230 American mass shootings in 34 different states, including Washington, D.C., in the first 150 days of 2022. The online archive of gun violence in the U.S. defines a mass shooting based only on the numeric value of 4 or more shot or killed, not including the shooter. So, we're not going to get to all of these here, but I just kind of want to read off some of these mass shootings and where they took place. So, in Memphis, Tennessee, 4 people were shot and another person was injured at a car show in North Memphis on Saturday.
Well, a car show, huh? That sounds, I mean, I just a random guess. That sounds like, you know, maybe some people who are very, you know, in some questionable, you know, backgrounds probably got in a fight and it ended up being, you know, a bunch of their buddies, you know, having a shootout with each other. Or, well, not maybe a shootout, but one of them happened to having a piece and, you know, and basically kind of going, you know, one against the other type of thing. I mean, not all car shows are kind of scrupulous or questionable, but, I mean, every now and then you might find in the corner or maybe, like, more seedier car shows where there might be some people you really don't want to be fucking with. That doesn't excuse it anyway. I mean, if anything, that proves the point why, you know, to my initial thing earlier, why certain people probably shouldn't fucking have them in the first place. They might be sound in all metrics and shit, you know, by any means, but, you know, all in all, they're likely to probably just still use it and be a fucking idiot, irresponsible, and not safe with it. Or just be a hothead without necessarily having, like, you know, outright massive trigger signs and shit, besides, you know, being like, oh, you know, whatever the fuck, and just being loud and bodacious or whatever the fuck, but not, like, overtly violent. But having something like that suddenly changes, you know, a lot, you know, the feeling about that pretty quickly.
And 3 people were injured at a shooting at a parking lot at a bar in Colorado on Saturday. In Fresno, California.
Oh, gee. So, bar fight gone wrong. Wow. It seems like, no matter what, the correlation seems to be the accessibility and the fact that certain people shouldn't have these fucking things. Weird.
Injured and 1 killed in a shooting. Ongoing investigation, so we don't have details there. Malabar, Florida.
Guarantee you that's just some drunk fuck who had a gun with him and got in a fight and started shooting the patrons. Guarantee you that's what happened.
Were injured in a shooting after an argument at a house party. Chattanooga,
another
Tennessee,
one.
6 teenagers between the ages of 15.
Guarantee you drinks are involved with that. And this one has teenagers, it sounds like. Here, let's go back a little bit.
The house party. Chattanooga, Tennessee, 6 teenagers between the ages of 13 and 15 were injured in a shooting on Saturday.
Wow, so, strangely enough, it's as if, people under the age of 21 probably maybe shouldn't have guns because especially when they're all hormonal as fuck, they're probably going to be doing stupid shit like, shooting Timmy, on the fucking corner or in the backyard, because they got in a little too much of a heated fight over, like, over shit like that. It's like, what? Guns and Fortnite kids do not mix. Stick with poop socking.
Chicago. 5 people were shot in West Garfield Park in Chicago on Sunday. Taft, Oklahoma. 1 person was killed and 7 people were injured after a shooting took place at a Memorial Day event that saw more than 1,500 people in attendance. In Chicago, 4 people were wounded and 1 person was killed in a shooting. Benton Harbor, Michigan. 1 person was killed, 6 people were injured after an argument escalated over tickets to a concert. That's not all of them here, but I'll link you to the article if you want to read about all of them. But this is happening very, very frequently because the United States has more guns than people. So when you have so much guns in circulation, well, something as simple as an argument between 2 people can escalate to violence, gun violence, because many people are armed in this country. That's the situation. Now, Republicans will claim that it's not guns, it's mental health, it's doors. But no, it's not just that this happens at elementary school.
Frankly, those were pretty much every single one of those instances were different places. Like, I think 2 of them were at a house, 1 specifically a house party, 1 at a bar, 1 in a parking lot, a car show, a medical facility, school, these happen anywhere. So it's not like, it's just like, it's just like, very specific, isolated areas where this happens that we need to kind of address it. It's just like, no, that ain't the case, Chief. Well, it's actually mental health stuff. It's like, yeah, but are you actually going to do anything about that? No. So what the fuck are you talking about it then, bitch? So it's just like, oh, you're going to mention it, but never actually do anything to fucking address it. Oh, okay. Just dehumanize it and demonize people who do have mental health further. That's basically the justification for it. It's like, oh, go figure. Who would have fucking thunk? But, it's not like literally guns and stuff. It's like, how so? Like, if anything, how so then? Because, I would say otherwise, in the sense that it's due to the fact of how easily fucking accessible they are, and how lax and how fucking random the laws are, depending on what state you're in. And it's not, federalized or standardized by any fucking metric. So, how so? Is it just the fact that, they're just the goons and stuff, or is, maybe a little bit more to it? It's like, are you just gonna say it's not the goons at all? Just, nope. It's like, well, there is to a point. Yes, it is. It's like, for me, I treat it like as a, anything else, like a tool, a dangerous one at that, though many tools can be very dangerous, but with that, they should be heavily regulated as such, and, maybe, due to them, should not be accessible to certain people due to the, ferocity of how, dangerous they can be, and how fucking, some people, could use that potentially to harm themselves or other people, intentionally or otherwise. There's it should be the same thing with how we treat, not just the same thing, but even more so than how we treat, fucking cars and shit. Have some basic things like, oh, yeah, make sure you have some licensing, go for the test, go for, the driving course, and in this case, it would be, like, the safety courses and stuff to, familiarize yourself and be more responsible and to prove that you're actually going to be safe, responsible with the fucking thing. Like, there's, like, these things, need to, be just a fucking normal, standardized thing. Because I, especially, don't mind going for the hoops. Like, I have to go, to, like, a little specific little range and, for, like, an hour or two, test my, self and shit, make sure I'm qualified, and then go for, like, a safety quiz and a course, with that, and have, like, a week or two background check, and bada bing, bada boom. Like, oh, okay, wow, oh, wow, oh my god, they're trying to take my guns, those goddamn communist liberals. It's like, give me a fucking break, get out of here. Like, the people that bitch about shit like that the most are especially the ones I'm talking about when it comes to probably shouldn't have them. Because if they're so fucking, like, about it over the most basic of fucking things, that says more about them than the people that are trying to advocate it. Which is why I don't want motherfuckers like that lumped in when it comes to, average, casual enjoyers of them like me. Because, like, there's a lot of people like me that just casually enjoy guns and shit, but don't make it, like, the biggest fucking deal ever. And if anything, would rather it just be whatever, like, but unfortunately, due to the toxic ass gun culture, primarily because of these motherfuckers, it's just like, it's just, I'm just like gun enthusiast, I just like to collect stuff. It's like, no, you don't, bitch, shut the fuck up. It's like, you're not like me when it comes to just like being a casual enthusiast, bitch. It's like, it's like, ugh. It's like, ugh. I mean, it really does trigger the shit out of me, because, because for me, like, it shouldn't be, some weird, out of the norm, fucking extreme position or, like, some weird liberal agenda that just has some basic goddamn regulations on this shit. It's like, I do think certain elements, like, mag bans and shit like that, I don't think, are meaningful and don't really, add anything to things, but, like, at the end of the day, I still want to see viable and, proper solutions to this shit. It's just like, I just think maybe certain aspects of it, either don't really add to it or just go a little too far. But nonetheless, I want, there needs to be some goddamn reforms and have some strict ones at that. And, and that needs to be, and just have it be so. Because this hobby is dead. No? I mean, evidently not. I have it as one of my hobbies. It's like a lot of my coworkers have it as a hobby, and none of them are like what I'm talking about when it comes to this weird hyper fucking gun culture toxicity. Like, frankly, I see a lot more of that type of shit, in the South more so than up here, at least in my, from my experience. Like, hell, like, even in the times I've been around in Montana, people there are a lot more open about, gun regulations and friendly with that shit. Hey, suck off! Hey! This is my dad, my god. Stressed your idea is firearms as a hobby. And the fucked up thing is, when the NRA was originally a thing, up until, like, the 1970s onwards, it was actually, like, something that was more of, like, yeah, we're, like, a hobbyist club, and we actually encourage, things like, gun regulation and gun training and, actually, being responsible, safe for the shit. Like, there was a point before it got utterly co-opted by gun lobbyists and fucking GOP psychos, but curiously enough, Reagan onward, that, essentially made it what it is now. Like, it was originally founded by, like, Civil War vets that essentially were like, hey, let's, actually be better, trained and better, shooters when it comes to the Southern marksmen and shit. When it came to, like, during the Civil War, like, a lot of them noticed that, especially when it came to skirmishes, not necessarily outright battles, that Southern soldiers tend to be better marksmen, because they were better hunters in a way. But despite that, they still had obsolete weapons and shit, so, like, you might be a better shot, but if you don't got a good rifle, ain't gonna do shit. There's a blurry line between gun nut and responsible gun owners. I do tend to agree with that, because I do think there are people that I think are responsible gun owners, but can be kind of nutty about it. It's just like, at least for me, it's like, that's why, having, these type of strict, background checks in place, for me is something that's necessary, because, when it comes to that line, there might be some people that might just be saying shit, but then there's people that might honestly have a background of, either planning and acting, or in the past have had violent tendencies and shit. or some other severe mental cases or whatever the fuck. If we somehow miraculously got to the point where we gave up guns for a betterment society in general, like Australia and other countries have done, would you support it? I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily be happy about it, but sure. Like I said, it's not like the biggest fucking deal for me. Like, I like it. I like it having always one of my hobbies and shit, but, again, it's not like the end-all be-all or whatever the fuck. It's not like, take back all that energy. I mean, I guess I suppose when it comes to, like, a worker's perspective, especially under no pretext of the defense of, workers' rights, and their conditions shouldn't be infringed and by force if necessary. I mean, that kind of pops up into my mind, especially, so that's why I want to be happy about it. But, I mean, for me, it's not like the fucking gun-ho, like, by cold dead hands type of shit. It'd be more of a philosophical position at that point. Besides, if it ever really came to that point anyway, like, when it comes to, like, a violent workers' revolution type of scenario, there would be a way to get them. Like, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily just have to have them. Like, you would be able to get them.
And anyone who
I mean, for example, like in Blair Mountain, like, it wasn't just the fact that a lot of them were World War I vets and just had their rifles, or maybe like Poppy's hunting shoddy. Like, they also straight up hijacked trains that had, like armory, like cars, and shit that were meant to go to like the cops and a lot of the fucking private militias that were going against them and shit, and basically just hijacked that shit. So, I mean, there's historical sense of, like, there's a way to get them if they're absolutely necessary. But in this current, times, it's not really as needed anymore, which is why it's not a big deal for me. There's other ways where you can do a more radical revolution, when it comes to workers' rights. And we're already kind of seeing that anyway, which is good.
Or movies, or doors, or a lack of religion in schools. They're not having an honest conversation. It's the guns. And there are common sense things that we can do to minimize the amount of mass shootings in this country. You're not going to get rid of all mass shootings unless you get rid of guns in society, but that's just not something that's possible. But you can reduce the number of mass shootings if you do simple things. Federal back.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's why, I mean, even in a lot of these countries like Australia or Canada or the UK, like, you would have to go for, like, the biggest fucking hoops ever. But there are ways to where you could still get them, but they're very strictly hyper-specific. Like, I mean, I know in Australia you can for, like, if you're on a farm and you need to use it to, like, fend off something away from your crop or some shit, or, like, hunt, but that's literally it. And I think you're only limited to how much you could buy in a year or two when it comes to ammo and stuff like that. So there's very hyper strict, things when it comes to just like, all right, you can have one, but it's like you're not gonna do this. It's just like there's very hyper major caveats when it comes to that shit. But it's just like, I mean, for me, it's like at the very least, can we just have some basic caveats when it comes to just the accessibility of these motherfucking things here? I mean, it's like, goddamn. Like, it shouldn't be hard. As long as you have a good need. Yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's not, yeah, because in places like in Australia shit, there isn't really as much of a need for them when it comes to things like hunting or, property defense, whether from wild animals or otherwise or some shit. Like, you have other things that you can use.
Caps on high-capacity magazines, waiting periods, mandatory gun safety training, mental health screenings before you buy a gun, having to come up with references before you purchase a gun. There are things that you can do that will allow people who want guns to continue to own them, and also protect people who don't want to be murdered just while they're at the movie theater or at school.
Oh, shit.
But we're not doing that in this country. Now, currently, Congress is on vacation, so there's no action.
Go figure. Oh, hey, a bunch of mass shootings are going on. Let's go on vacation.
Be taken this week. And, there's a lot of people talking currently about how this time it feels
when
different.
there's, like, some shit that's, like, especially when there's, like, nothing that's been fucking going on whatsoever in this country when it comes to improvement, Congress or the Senate, like, no motherfucker that's a politician should be allowed to have a goddamn fucking vacation. Not a fan of a reference system. We could do background checks without them. I'm kind of 50-50 about it. I like the idea of it, but I know what you are meaning by it, though, because what's stopping someone from referencing their Uncle Ted, who's probably more radical than they are when it comes to their fucking views or some shit, and, like, the weird conservative nonsense, whatever. Like, I can see where you're coming with that, so that's why I'm 50-50 about it. It's like, I like the idea, but I don't know how you can stop somebody from, like, let me reference my, MAGA, uncle or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, it'd be a little difficult to try to enforce something like that. I guess in a way, like, if you do have someone who calls up and it's like, yeah, I think, my buddy here is all good and stuff, and they ask him some very specific questions, and it kind of ends up that's a bad reference and shit, then they could be, like, something that's ruled out. But, I don't know, I have to, I guess, wonder, pinball the idea to see if it would be something that could work out. Because honestly, especially, with the perspective of just, like, having, like, some yokel, just ask his other hillbilly yokel buddy or some shit. It's like, I don't know. I like the Massachusetts permitting system. Yeah. Like, where you have, like, the permit, shit, yeah. Like, that's something I advocate for, too. Like, when it comes to, like, basic, home defense permit or some shit, where it lets you have some basic, access, to, like, a shotgun or something like that, or, like, basics, like 9mm and below handguns or something. And then, from there it goes up a little bit. Like, if you're hunting, then you can have, like, 223s, 308s, and, other higher calibers and stuff for hunting purposes and shit like that. Have a little bit more of an expansion to, the accessibility of what you could acquire, and so on and so forth. And of course, going up the system, having to go more stricter for the process, due to obviously the higher calibers, more more heavier, firearm shit, and so on and so forth. So it's just like, because some random dude, if they really want to die AR-15, well, just get the permit for it then. It's like you would have to work your way up for it. You have to get the permits below it before you get that one. So in a sense, by proxy, that would be a waiting period, to get it. On top of the background check waiting period to get screened and all that. So, it's like, especially for someone like me, I don't mind doing shit like that. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I just have to wait extra longer, while getting it. If anything, in a way, I just, like, streamline the process, and while I'm saving up for it, just, go through the process, and by the time I'm done with it, I'd save up for it. So, if anything, I would just, use that as a way to plan ahead on, when getting it and stuff. But that's just, being a casual person about it. And I'm not looking to get one anytime soon anyway. If anything, I'm just going to get stuff to upgrade mine. Maybe to add to optic and shit like that. But, and even then, I'm not looking to do that anytime soon. I have it now, I'm happy. Like, it's just whatever, Like, that's the difference. Like, for me, it's not that big of a deal. Like, and it really shouldn't be. Like, it's nice to, if, like, you're talking to another gun dude, I guess, to have a convo about it, but, like, it's whatever. In the meantime, it's like, hey, can we also try to make sure that we have some basic federalized standards so, certain people, whether they're crazies or criminally, violent or otherwise, shouldn't get them? That's already been done. Boo, get out of here.
During Sandy Hook. Well, now is going to be the time to act, because surely when children are slaughtered, you can't just stand by and do nothing. But Congress did. And I've watched time and again, mass shooting after mass shooting, Congress do nothing. So when people say that this feels different, when Joe Manchin says this feels different, but yet I want to abolish the filibuster, or at least create a carve-out to the filibuster so we can pass...
I like how it says again. Every time it's mass shooting, it's like, this feels different. This time feels different. I feel in the wind. There's gonna be some change. Oh wait, did I just get a bunch of fucking NRA money? Oh sweet, yeah, let me spot that real quick. Alright. Did I say there was gonna be some change? It's Dutch Bears, my man. Dutch Bears. Anyway, let me get back to my coal mine profited yacht over here. You know, don't you mind, don't man. Fucking Weasley bastard.
This? But something feels different? No, it's the same fucking thing. What we're seeing right now is this hurry up and wait period.
Tots and pears.
Politicians, they talk a big game. They change their rhetoric temporarily. Even Fox News has kind of changed their rhetoric, criticizing the cops. Some Republicans, like John Voight, are saying maybe we should do this, federal background checks. But I promise you, this is all rhetoric being used specifically to appease people. But after a couple of weeks, when the next crisis occurs in this country, everyone will be distracted, the feelings and emotions will go down, and then politicians will just hope that you forgot that nothing was accomplished. So I hope that I'm wrong, but don't think I'm going to be wrong here. But this will continue to happen, and even when we don't see massive headlines about a mass shooting, it's going to keep happening. Because that's just the American way of life, unfortunately.
That is the price we pay for freedom in this country. Tell you what, boy. Unironically, that's Venom, his stepdad. He sent me a text saying that's like something he actually unironically fucking said about these things, and it's like, oh my god, bro, I would have been popping the fuck off just hearing that. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, honestly, normally I would, but last time I did, he beat the shit out of me. It's just like, work out, bro. Get swole. Get like that Giga Chad Minor lefty looking dude. Just fucking be like, yo, gonna get swole, so next time you pop off and he tries that, and you match up with him equally, suddenly you might think about that a little differently. And he's just like, bruh, when I get a chance to get out of here, don't think I will. I'm like, good. That boy. Honestly, like, since he's actually, you know, kind of been mentioned, and I've even, like, more casually been talking about it, like, I'm actually gonna deadass, you know, probably, like, maybe work out a plan and maybe to actually legit try to get him up here. Like, deadass, because it would be a lot fucking better than living in that shithole. Seriously. It's like anything to get him the fuck out of there. Huh? British Columbia, Canada is temporarily decriminalizing the possession of small amounts of cocaine and opioids? Adults are allowed to carry a combined of 2.5 grams of opioids, cocaine, meth, and MDMA. These drugs are still illegal, but found in possession up to that amount will not be arrested, charged, or have the drugs taken. The trial, oh, so it's like a trial thing, okay. So the trial period will begin on the 31st of 2023 and last for 3 years. Why not just start it, like, sometime, like, oh my god, why not just start it halfway through this year? Why not, like, okay, whatever. The Canadian province asked for an exemption from the Federal Controlled Drugs and Substances Act in order to combat dramatic increase in overdose. SBC officials said they requested exemption to remove the shame that often prevents people from reaching out for life-saving help. Well, it's just do it. Just do it. Take what you can get. I mean, yeah, I will. So, honestly, I feel like this, you know, considering it's 3 years, there's going to be a massive results, you know, and change out of that, and they're going to be like, this actually is very positive. I think we're going to keep doing this. So, I think that's going to be temporarily and then become permanent very quickly. Programs. Yeah, which you think honestly a lot more people would. Because even at this point, like, I'm starting to wonder if, like, my, quote, conservative leaning coworker is even really that conservative in the first place, the one that I at least work with directly. Because, like, I mean, he's pretty much just like, you know, why can't, government just, legalize all drugs and stuff, regulate and have it, just go into, programs that, can make sure that they don't overdose and die and blah, blah, blah. And if, people want to do them, fine, whatever, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. Because pretty much, like, one of his main, like, philosophical principles is, like, hey, like, I mean, it's pretty libertarian in the sense that it's, like, as long as you're not harming anybody, do what you want. Like, he doesn't care. So, I mean, which I'm pretty much the same way. So, it's just like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm starting to think that, you know, maybe he, like, honestly, his more conservatism is more of, like, the ANCAP stuff, but now it's starting to shift more to, like, lefty libertarianism. I don't know if all the way quite yet, but, you know, it's definitely been kind of getting there. Slowly but surely, I've noticed. The idea of drug use is criminal rather than medical use will take a long time to die. It's sad, but true. There's too much of an association between crimes committed by addicts and then the addiction issues themselves. Despite causation or correlation not being causation, in a crime, it's a crime in many people's minds. Yeah, because it's a correlation to a lot of the crimes that happen. So it's just like, well, yeah, they're just some addicted junkie that's just, you know, destined for crime. It's like, yeah, that totally is gonna help the situation. Oh, sweet baby. Damn. Spicy meme. Blame it on video games. Address real problems like mental health issues. Newscaster. The red button. Damn. It's just video games, bruh. I heard like the fucking, like, some dipshit was just like, oh, Uvalde shooting was basically goddamn fucking CRT and you good, bro? With CRT and wokeness. It was the woke CRT-ness that fucking Don did. It's like, oh my god, dude, why do it's like, what the fuck? Oh, you know what, it's like, ugh. Hold on, you know, I just want to find this just so we can just absorb it together. Because I was listening to this earlier on good old Onion Nuggets, and this is the most absurd fucking thing I've ever heard. I just need to find it here. It should be, I think it's after this, right here. Yeah? Is it? Oh, no, not quite yet. I know it's somewhere right all up in here. Is it this one? Is it this little news story? It isn't, but this is actually a pretty fucking funny story. Hold on, I gotta go back. We need the, hold on, I got it full screen real quick just so I can read the damn thing. Or actually, make the quality a lot better than this. There we go. Winnie the Pooh, bloodied, cuffed museum exhibit sparks police outrage. This is just absurd. But honestly fucking hilarious. Because it just kind of proves the point that cops are just fucking stupid.
Cuffed museum exhibit sparks police outrage. Oh. A controversial painting at the Cincinnati Art Museum has sparked outrage as law enforcement has requested the painting be removed from its exhibit. The painting in question is part of a larger exhibit titled Black and Brown Faces, paying homage to. The artwork is a second exhibition organized by Palooza Noir, an organization that focuses on enriching the lives of people of color throughout the Midwest, blah, 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 blah. Controversial painting depicts the character Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit, and Eeyore. In the painting, Winnie the Pooh is handcuffed and lying on the ground in what appears to be a pool of blood. Piglet is depicted behind him dressed as a police officer. Points a gun directly at Pooh. In addition, Tigger stands in front of Winnie the Pooh holding a sign that says, "Off the pig."
Off the pig.
Cincinnati Fraternal Order of Police President Dan Hills told WLWT.
Well, now, hold on. We'll see an image of it here.
It's mind-blowing to me that we're there that were there in society that can be seen as artwork. It makes no sense. Really?
It makes perfect sense.
It doesn't make sense? Because I'm pretty
You
sure
think
it
it's the
do.
artwork? Wait a minute. You think it's the artwork that gives police a bad fucking rap in this country? Break, dude.
Oh my god.
Break.
This weird precedent for the Cincinnati Fraternal Order of Police is like this artwork of Winnie the Pooh all bloodied and dead by Piglet dressed as one of us. How dare they? How dare this artwork depict us as in such shame?
This is ridiculous. Like,
You'll see what I mean here in a second.
Take down a piece of art. I hope they don't get this art taken down. And
Hill
I
said
hope
that
it
despite his
actually.
belief in freedom of speech, he asked the museum to remove the artwork. I'm
No.
taking advantage of my freedom of speech.
Oh yeah, hey, for what? Oh, I'm taking advantage of my freedom of speech to remove your freedom of speech and take that down. Shut up, get back to work, public employee. Hey, you're besmirching public employees like that. Police aren't like that. Police aren't like your average public employee. Come on now.
That down.
They're not like, I mean, do they even qualify for that? I mean, maybe technically, but do they really?
That's not.
Yeah, no.
not
You
right.
as a mandated authority saying, "Hey, take that down," is not respecting the freedom of speech of anybody at all. It's not even an expression of your freedom of speech. It's a direct hostile action against freedom of
Wait a minute.
speech. But you would understand that if you weren't part of an organization that like weeds out all the half-smart people and only hires the fucking caveman mongoloid retards that are left at the bottom of the barrel. If you weren't a fucking soup brain that was born with half a brain in your fucking monkey-like skull, you would know that. But unfortunately, you're a cop. The lesser among us that we give guns to and let run around like some kind of fucking armed gang, telling people what to take down in a fucking. You know what? I find this more fucking.
Oh my god, I love Paul so much sometimes. Goddamn, when he just goes off. Oh, fuck.
Donut munchers sitting around in Uvalde while those kids got killed. I find this fucking idiot thinking that he has some kind of mandate in society to tell an art gallery what it can and can't put up on its wall as one of the most offensive fucking things that we've heard tonight. Fuck this idiot. I hope somebody pays $1 billion for this fucking goddamn painting. And
Oh, here it is, here it is.
Of every, we should make this mandatory. They should be hang out in front of every. Fly this flag in front of every.
Fly that as a flag.
Fuck them. They don't get to decide what is and isn't art. They don't get to get morally offended. Fuck that, dude. No.
Listen to this too. This is
But look at it. Oh my god, I love it. Winnie the Pooh's all just like cuffed and dead. Piglet with his gun pointed at him, just like, fuck you, Winnie. And then he got Tigger holding off the pig, and then he got fucking Eroy and the rest of the gang all up in there, just like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Man, fuck cops, these worthless pieces of chuckle fucking shitbags. They're all offended because, Winnie the Pooh was depicted, You gotta see the subtle, you gotta be subtle like Simpsons. They draw Chief Wiggum's nose like a pig. Yeah, that's true.
Fuck that, dude. No.
Fuck that,
listen to this too.
dude.
This
No.
is crazy because this is demonstrably false. Hill said that
Paul
the painting
disagrees.
is, quote, saying, cops are murderers, which I know is a total fabrication, a total lie.
Oh, this lie fabrication of us being murderers. Oh, posh. Get the fuck out of
They've
here.
done it. The police have killed plenty of unarmed people without
Like,
cause.
wait, you can't even, I mean, it's literally demonstrably true. Like, cops have been convicted of murder for stuff they've done on duty at this point.
I'm part of an organization that hires the dumbest people, so trust me when I say that this art needs to come down. Fuck you, idiot!
Suggesting
I
cops
wanna-
get angry again. This, to me, is unbelievable.
I want to go to the Cincinnati Art Museum now.
Dude, I want to go to Cincinnati just to go to this art museum and see this art museum. Just for this art piece. Oh my god, I want to pay my respects. I want to pay my respects to this art piece. Oh my god. Holy shit, this is so fucking good. Oh, god, man, fuck cops, man. These worthless, sad, shagbag
They
pieces
don't
of
take this
shit.
down. fuck that shit, dude. Keep this shit up.
They need to, like, mass produce these as, like, two-sided flags and wave them around in every fucking police department and make it a badge standard on their fucking vest. Like, oh my god. Fuck them.
Look at him, dude. He's fucking Piglet.
He's just Winnie the Pooh to the
Man,
dead.
I feel bad for Piglet, but he's evil in this.
Evil Piglet, dude. He fucking put a cap in his ass, bro.
Tigger's like, off the pig.
Off the pig.
Eeyore's crying.
Poor Eeyore.
That's
Just kind of like, huh.
Huh. Odd.
Rabbit's got his phone out. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Rabbit should be like the one who's like got like a fucking thin blue line flag or something like.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna record this.
No. Cowboys, there might have been some dumb fucks amongst cowboys and shit, but cowboys were not known for their dumbassery. When you're talking about
No
cowboys,
shit.
you're talking about the old American West cowboy trope. There was a lot of really fucking smart people amongst cowboys. They
Not
were
only that,
not
but I'm pretty sure
the
cowboys
dunce
would have
squad.
fucking.
And frankly, honestly, like, there's a lot of cowboys, especially if they're, like, you know, rugged survivalists, yeah, they would be smart, because a lot of, like, they wouldn't be a thing if they didn't survive off in, like, you know, in the wilderness and frequently, and, you know, we're kind of having to survive in different, like, groups and gangs and shit like that, and all, like, oh my god, like, I mean, it's like, oh, you know, you get mad because, you know, America's just like the Wild West, blah, blah, blah. They didn't have AR-15s either, yeah. Like, the fastest rifle they had was probably, like, what was it called? Like, the Winchester? The fucking Winchester repeater? Imagine if they did, though. Oh, my God. Well, I mean, I imagine they would be a lot more smarter about it, though. Like, sure, you'd have a bunch of dumb yokels, but a bunch of the smart ones will, you know, deal with those dumb ones pretty quickly. Like, every little town had, like, kind of their own little law, to be fair, but, you know, I mean, frankly, the dumbasses that didn't, you know, abide by it probably, you know, were either kicked the fuck out, put in the cell, or, you know, well, shot. Yeah, so, I mean, while a lot more, you know, probably violent, I mean, yeah, I mean, frankly, I mean, they were probably more smarter, though, you know, I mean, I don't know.
Too, you know?
Yeah,
Not like today. They didn't also have lead poisoning.
something was stupid as fuck amongst the cowboys. They didn't get promoted to lieutenant. You know what I mean?
Hey, no shit.
Shooting up the school. Every fucking cowboy.
What?
What's going on here?
Boom, 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 boom. Dead. You know, it's like. Fucking gone. It's like.
So quit.
They're not gonna be like, I don't know about this now.
Quit comparing them to people of fucking action and intellect. They're not. This is literally the lowest common denominator in society. The people that went through fucking high school and came out with an inferiority complex. And, you know, a Dunning-Kruger brain.
Forest Service says it started all of New Mexico.
Okay, here's the fucking story I was trying to find. I knew it was coming
Your
up.
brain.
Here.
Forest Service says it started all of New Mexico's largest wildfire. I don't know if that's. I think that's supposed to be pluralized, but whatever.
Yeah, so the U.S. Forest Service, I guess in an attempt to try to prevent forest fires, started them. Yay, America! We don't fuck anything up at all. Oh my god! Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Just absorb. This needs to be
blazes
absorbed.
that grew into Mexico's largest ever wildfire were both started by the U.S. Forest Services, the agency said on Friday, prompting the state's governor to demand the federal government take full responsibility for the disaster. Seems kind of fair.
No shit.
Fire, you know. Forest Service investigators determined the Calf Canyon fire was caused by a burn pile of branches that the agency thought was out, but reignited on April 19th.
So wait a minute. The Forest Service, literally the people that hang up the signs that explained with Smokey the Bear on them.
Yeah.
That explain to you how to make sure a fire is out.
Here we go.
A fire can seem to be out, but can actually have tons and tons of embers just under the surface. You've got to make sure that it's completely saturated. It should be cool to the touch. So the people that hang up those signs and produce that we pay to make sure dumbass people don't set fires that rage out of control are setting fires because they're too dumb to do it.
Yeah, pretty much. That is pretty much it. Yep, that is literally it. It's like the people that are supposed to be preventing these things and actually, like, educate people how to not, you know, start them themselves are doing them themselves. It's like, oh my god. It's like, oh, yeah, we thought this, like, burn pile that we put out, you know, was out, but it actually wasn't out, so, oops, our bad. Whoopsie daisy. It's like, oh my god, like, you're, They're the motherfuckers that's supposed to know this shit. They're the ones that's supposed to know this. And they're starting the worst fucking wildfires in New Mexico over this shit. Oh my god, wow, what a country.
Sums it up pretty good.
You understand?
Dude, can you think of a more useless use of taxpayer money other than the Uvalde Police Department than a fucking forestry service that accidentally fucks up and sets a bunch of fires?
I mean, so far, 12,320 acres.
What the
Mountain
fuck?
Forest Valleys.
What idiots, dude.
An area approaching the size of Greater London, and destroyed hundreds of homes. So there's fucking I mean,
Damn, Paul, why are you so angry? Damn, Devin Pope, why aren't you?
Yeah, why? Oh my god, no shit.
Muling, little capitulating.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at the person he's having.
Here we go. Here we go.
Why aren't you angry?
So the
you dumb
U.S.
fuck?
the U.S. Forest Services does the exact opposite of what they're paid to do by your tax dollars, and burns down like 300,000 acres of fucking forest and like.
I mean, honestly, for me, it's like, I don't even know how to absorb the anger or channel it, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, it's like, sometimes I think, like, the military-industrial complex is bad with its fucking wasteful spending, but Jesus, this is like, it's like this is pretty much the equivalent as, like, oh yeah, we're funding, this type of thing to make sure we're all safe and all this and that. Oh, whoops, we actually put ourselves in danger and actually made shit worse. Oh, whoop, that's a waste of money. It's like, what? It's like, well, I don't even know. Like, how? Like, how in the fuck? Like, how in the fuck? How do you do that? Like, it's like, it's like, US Gov just basically like, yeah, well, things are fucked, might as well just put the pile on it. Oh, well, we thought we'd put it out, oops, guess we didn't.
Because they're too scared to put out a fucking fire when that's, like, they're literally, like, the forestry department. And, like,
I'm almost like spilling tea everywhere.
But you're triggered by someone who actually is angry at them, like, why so mad?
Yeah. Bro? What mad, bro? What you mad, bro?
Don't worry.
Be happy.
You want to know what the fucked up thing is?
Be happy now.
He represents the aggregate. Like, that's how most people are about it. Why you get so worked up about it? The planet just burning. Just 10 species a day disappearing every fucking day. Just like unlivable storms and heat waves and bullshit. I mean, why you care so much, man?
Why you mad, bro? This is fine.
That's the aggregate of humanity. That's why when people go like, why are you so apocalyptic? Like, that's why. I wish I could more succinctly explain it, but I know what the aggregate of humanity is. They're too stupid to save themselves. So they won't.
Bring us the benevolent AI already. Give us the benevolent global AI. Like, it wouldn't make stupid shit mistakes like this.
Do nothing. We gotta do nothing.
Look, well, guys, we've tried nothing and it hasn't worked. I don't know what else to do.
I'll tell you what I'm really mad about is these damn lesbian books in our damn libraries, man.
Well, that, you gotta admit that there, T.
I never been to a library, but
I ain't been a fan about the lesbian library books.
That woke Disney bullshit, man. Bring back cool stuff like that new Doctor Strange that's coming out, man. We don't need no more of this woke Disney bullshit.
$2 million gold tabernacle stolen from NYC church, angel statue decapitated.
The base.
Good.
Awesome. Base.
The tabernacle is a masterpiece and one of the most expensive tabernacles in the country.
Oh, but we were make sure that the money that we were getting from the flock was going to the poor. Don't worry.
A 127-year-old, $2 million bejeweled tabernacle was stolen.
But we could definitely save ourselves. I mean, it's just like, I at least have, some shred of inkling that, enough people have, wise enough minds to at least, and not, be like that. But, I mean, at least, who, controls everything, or at least the people that do. Yeah, they have. See, they literally don't get fucked, so yay.
Cruel, corrupt.
So you might as well at least do shit like this in the meantime.
Also decapitated an angel statue and stole the head. The thief got inside the church on 6th Avenue near Sterling Place, cut open an ornate altar, stealing the pure 18-karat gold tabernacle, cops said. The crook also made off with a severed head of an angel statue.
Oh, somebody defaced a fucking one of those giant ornate child rape factories that are allowed in the country. Cool.
Dope.
Man.
Based.
Cool.
Awesome.
I actually think that these places should be emptied of all people that work in them. This fucking religion, fucking good old boys club that protects these fucking predators and shit should be dismantled, and people should cut down and repurpose every fucking treasure and piece of fucking marble and artifact in this place. Fuck that place.
Yeah. Based. Yep. And if anything, reconvert it into like, big ass community housing area or some shit. Or make it into like, some 18 plus like, gay bar or some shit. Or like 21 over, so you can at least have alcohol.
Devastating, as the tabernacle is the central focus of our church outside of worship, holding the body of Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, these worthless motherfuckers. Like, this is why, just organized religion just seems to be fucking like something that is at least, very heavily restricted. If not, as far as I'm concerned, should just be fucking outlawed. Because Jesus Christ, the amount of shit and fucking predatory garbage that they get away with is fucking disgusting. And it's all in the name of worship and love of God, blah, 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 blah. So please, make sure we have our tax exemptions so we can do, a lot of sexual predatory fucking psychological torture on people. It's just like, fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what makes, in a secular society where it's just like, oh yeah, religion can be, totally tax exempt and they can just get away with the fucking shit they do. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, let's just make that, totally an acceptable thing.
To the sick and homebound, Reverend Frank Tomino, the church's pastor, said in a statement Sunday. To know that a burglar entered the most sacred space of our beautiful church.
God damn it, Scotty.
Change that cut into our security system is a heinous act of disrespect.
Do people sound like people that live 24/7 in like a
Jesus
fucking
Christ, Scotty.
Hogwarts LARP or something? You're fucking
Hogwarts LARP?
Like a ass human being, and you believe that there's some kind of sacred ritual you do in front of this bullshit. Shut up. Your fucking religion has been responsible for more rape and murder and genocide over its fucking limited existence than most other religions will ever be responsible for. You should be ashamed to call yourself a Catholic, let alone donate and attend one of these macabre, fucking creepy, weird self-supplication ceremonies and shit in front of a fucking angel statue.
Oh my god, honestly, I've been to one of these fucking Catholic churches once during, some weird Christmas ceremony, and it's straight up, some creepy fucking cult, shit that, honestly, I felt like, we're borderline ready to do, some sort of goat sacrifice or some shit.
Being, get your fucking head out of the fantasy clouds, wake up, realize the dumbest fucking lie ever told is a lie, and fucking move on. Santa isn't real, the Easter Bunny isn't real, there's no man in the sky watching you that's crying because the angel's head got cut off.
God shed a tear.
God shed a tear. It cursed out those sinners that beheaded that angel that day. But, yeah, when it came down to all those, messages that had been happening, the last week or so, well, God didn't do a goddamn thing about that. But he weeps, for this vandalized angel statue that was meaninglessly, wasted on, instead of actually pursuing it to the people in New York.
There's a I think there's a big gay sex club or whatever in Amsterdam that used to be a church. It used to be a big cathedral, but
Based. Awesome. I want to go there.
Dude, it was probably a big gay sex club before it was a big gay sex club.
Oh my god. Honestly, yeah, it was. Oh my god. I mean, for real, though, it totally was. Jesus Christ, because, just a very pedophilic, predatory sex club, but now it could be an adult one, where kids can fuck off and go play basketball in the park or something. What in the fuck are you doing? Man, you weirdo. You're just being a little weird boy. Weird little boy. What are you doing having your, like, big old booty just sticking out? What is this? What is going on here? He's got, like, a big old booty just sticking out right there. You goof. Now you're chewing on your tail. Man, you're a weirdo. You're just a weird bro. Do you even know what you want, dude? What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do here, baby? Hey, let me scratch your head. Oh, you sweet baby. You sweet little white boy. I honestly still can't get over the fucking like the environmental, like, forest services just being like, oh yeah, we were trying to put out some stuff and then we didn't, and then we just kind of accidentally started like some of the worst wildfires in New Mexico. Oops. Now this just makes me think, like, it's just, like, seems like every day I always am now starting to really reminisce on the whole Churchill quote of, you can always rely on Americans to do the right thing after they exhausted every other option. Because Jesus Christ, like, I was hoping he wouldn't be, like, that correct on that, considering how much of a shitbag he was on, like, pretty much everything else. What are you doing now? What are you doing, bruh? What are you doing, Goofy, bruh? Are you trying to figure out? Yeah. Oop. Are you trying to, like, figure out your whole, like, sitting situation here? Wait, what's this? Joe Rogan swears he's not conservative, but can't explain how he's a liberal. Oh my god. I love it. It's as if these conservatives that always say, like, hey, I'm not actually conservative, bro, actually are conservative. Like, Tim Pool does this, Dave Rubin does this. Like, there's a couple of them that do this. And they get all butthurt if you say they're, you know, they're conservative. And they're all like, I'm not actually conservative. What do you mean, bro? It's like what? Can you tell me how you're not? And then they basically explain how they are. And it's like, oh, so you're conservative. They're like, what? No. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, I love how they get so fucking triggered over, you know, just calling them for what they are. It's like, good lord. I thought they were the big macho, like, you know, like, non-triggerable, like, giga chads that, you know, never melt like a snowflake or something. Like, I mean, they seem to melt very quickly when you know, call them out on that.
So I've stated this before, and it was relatively controversial, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to double down because I think it is factually correct. When Rush Limbaugh died, his ghost possessed Joe Rogan.
Oh my god, Jesus.
Rogan has functionally turned into a right-wing hack. He does as much propaganda as right-wing anti-SJW YouTubers. He repeats all of the talking
Wait, Mike's shirt? What about a shirt?
points that we hear on Fox News. So at this point, he's just a conservative. He's a multimillionaire, so of course he's going to vote with the party who most fights for the interest of his class. Except he's going to push back against critics like myself who claim that he's a conservative, and he's going to tell us that he's actually really liberal. Now, when he's going to try to explain what makes him liberal, he's
doing trippy things on my screen. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm actually looking a little more closer, I see what you mean. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, you're right. Dude, his shirt is, like, got that, like, tight pinstripe fit. Like, where it's all crisscross, but hella tight. I mean, yo, what in the fuck is doing some weird shit to my screen, even frozen? Yo. He's flexing some interesting drip there.
All he could talk about are the conservative positions that he holds. Take a look.
Today, the left has gone so fucking far left, so radical, that the right are the ones that are celebrating comedians, celebrating Chappelle.
Yeah,
They had my back through all the crazy shit that happened with me. It was Fox News that fucking had my back.
Would you ever think that they would be the ones to cape for you, like, 10 years ago?
I'm so liberal.
Yeah.
Like, I talk about it all the time. Like, I say I am not a conservative. I'm not conservative. But I am pro-Second Amendment, and I am a hunter, and I am a cage-fighting commentator, and I drink and I smoke cigars, and I like to bow hunt.
Yeah.
So there's a lot in there that's like, hey.
Crossover.
Okay, like, having an interest in hunting, or having, like, or fishing, or fucking, like, what does it even mean? Yeah, like, I mean... Seriously, I wasn't even gonna address that point, because that, when someone says I'm pro Second Amendment or I'm pro 2A and blah blah, like, basically that's essentially just, like, oh, I'm conservative on guns. Like, I mean, that's basically just what it means. So I mean, like, that's just a conservative talking point thing there, honestly. And what I was about to say, but like. And also, like, the whole, like, oh, I like cigars and drink and blah, 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 whatever. It's not right to hunt or whatever he said. Yeah, when it comes to, like, the actual Second Amendment itself, it doesn't even address things like hunting. I mean, it should be heavily amended and, maybe expanded on to maybe where, it should imply, some extra caveats when it comes to this shit. If anything. Or at least at the minimal, some, standardized federal laws and shit on this. If really, I'd like to just see it, amended into the Second A. Quote, has been amended in 2008. Oh, really? Cop-fighter right to own a gun in general. Oh. So basically, it didn't really do much to it. It basically, it's like, we're adding a thing that basically just kind of adds one extra little vagary, but yeah. we changed it. It's like, okay. They just added some extra verbiage about it. Actually did. Oh. Considering how, like, especially these days, 2000 onwards especially, like, whenever it comes to bipartisan support enough to where there's even amendment to a constitution, it's, like, I always will consider or think it's, like, probably just not exactly, got teeth in it, but, I mean, honestly, I didn't really know about, the entire amending of it, honestly, so it's actually new info to me. Not for being about army and militia, saying that U.S. citizens have specifically rights to own a gun, sure or not. It should make it even more possible to improve gun legislation in general. So, especially considering it's 08, it sounds like it was like a last-ditch effort of the Bush administration to be like, hey, we're making sure, because, I mean, if it's 08, that'd basically be the first year Obama be inaugurated, so there's still that period of time to where, last shit things could get done. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, either way, it's like, damn. It did, but if anything, for the worse. It's like, oh, great. ZW, figured.
But I'm a compassionate person, and I believe that boy, I'll tell you what, though. One thing that happened during this pandemic was it opened my eyes about human nature. Like, I used to be very pro universal basic income. My thought was, wouldn't it be great?
Used to?
If you just had enough money so you could eat, and you could pay your rent, and then you could pursue what you wanted to. But
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's actually based. Unironically, nothing wrong with that.
Reality of human nature came fully into focus when I realized that when some people got all that money from the government, the COVID money, and then they got unemployment, they didn't want to work. I have a friend who has a restaurant. He could.
Yeah, because the fucking work conditions fucking suck. But you would never know that, you worthless fucking schmuck. I mean, at this rate, like, you forgot what actual work is, because at this point, probably, wouldn't be able to realize if it fucking hit you in the face.
back to work.
Yeah.
And so
Oh my god. Wait, what are you, my fucking boss, bitch? Oh man. Now the pissed off labor guy's about to pop out on me. Jesus Christ, because motherfucker, like, really? You're gonna start talking like you're my goddamn boss, you worthless fuck? You parasite? Really? oh boy. Like, bitch, I get that, like, honestly, when I was fucked insane, which would have made it so I didn't have any days off, it's like, they're just like, hey, do you think you want some more OT and try to come in again? I'm like, I didn't even really respond, but I wanted to be like, let me guess, you know, the dude called in again. And, you know, because I already knew what it was, but since I already knew, it was kind of a rhetorical question myself, I didn't even send it. I was like, I don't even, like, no, I need a day. Considering that, you know, I'm still pissed about the weight shit, and then, you know, it got worthless fucks like this, you know, try to push and, you know, virtue this whole, like, oh, get back to work, peasant, type of nonsense garbage. Like, I mean, what, it's like, oh, I mean, I wonder if, you know, he's gonna be, you know, talking some anti-union shit here, too, in a second, because, I mean, this shit is, honestly. I mean, because, like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, you want to have better, you know, work and stuff, and you don't want to go work in a place that's all fucking shitty and garbage and, you know, gives you poor wages and stuff. Well, shut the fuck up. Just get back to work. Quit living off the unemployment, you schlubby, lazy fuck, you know, blah, 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 blah. Look at me, I'm all fit and hyper, you know, macho guy. I'm, you know, fucking, you know, do all sort of stuff like drink, hunt, and smoke cigars and talk shit with a bunch of other lazy, do-nothing, dumbass fucks on my little podcast. Like, I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. I wish I could make multiple millions of dollars doing what he fucking does. I mean, it's like, Jesus. I mean, it's like anyone who does shit like this, hobby or not, would probably love that. Like, cause fuck, I mean, I definitely put it to a lot more use than it, you know, better, that's way more better than his shit. Like, frankly, I wouldn't really even change much of my own lifestyle with that. Outside of maybe just, you know, some quick, like, hey, I'm gonna rent some shit, you know, to do some mass, like, quick overhaul changes, and then, you know, just call flat after that, and then just, you know, redistribute that shit everywhere else. Cause, like, goddamn, like, it's so easy to talk when you got so much money, you know, flaunting on your ass that you basically have a pillow on your fucking seat made out of it. I mean, it's just, like, so nice and easy for you to be talking all nice and posh in your little ivory tower, you worthless fucking pissant that looks like you're in some weird half-ass, schlocky-ass little fucking Texan bar in some random nobody town that anyone can hardly give a fuck about. And the last little, like artistic improvement with some weird 1950s LED light they got from some random, you know, shop that isn't in business anymore that you decided to put up in the back. Like, good lord. I remember his shit, like, when he initially moved, that literally looked like some space-age, like, UFO, like, briefing conference room in, like, a starship or some shit. Like, it legit looked kind of fucking dope. And then, like, within a month, it went into this weird fucking tacky-ass shit. It's like, god damn. Maybe he should have kept doing DMT. Because evidently he has no access to it in fucking Houston or wherever the fuck he is.
A bartender told him, I can come back to work, but I can only work for 20 hours a week. Because that way I get unemployment. So he wouldn't work more than 20 hours a week so he could get free money. Mm-hmm. So he could have made more money, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to work. So he was getting that free money, and then... Yeah,
probably because he doesn't want to live off of fucking tips, because you're working for bars is notoriously shitty when you have to rely on tips to make your income. Yeah, I wonder why, you know, he only want to work a certain amount of time. So you already heard from abortion? Yeah. Actually, I've been meaning to get back to him, because, I mean, he's still not exactly really doing great. I mean, it's, it can be, frustrating, honestly, but I mean, at least he's, you know, still kicking. So at least that's a good thing.
What the fuck, man? Yeah. Like, okay, like, and now he's, you know, he's always short-staffed, and it's a mess. Yeah. Like, you see a lot of people that own businesses that have a hard time finding people work for them. So there's pros to that, right? The pros are people. It's a marketplace that favors the worker, so workers can ask for more money. So you're seeing a lot of places like bars and restaurants and stuff that have to pay more money per hour, which I guess.
Which, yeah. Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah. Shut up, Joe. Yeah. Guess what? It's a good thing. You don't have to say, I guess. You can just say, it is a good thing. Yeah, because guess what? Higher wages means more incentive to actually fucking work. And also, you know, go apply for a job that actually, you know, offers a fair, decent wage. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, it's, like, basically one of the, like, tip from a union guy, the best way to union bust is actually offer good working conditions and also good, decent fucking wages from the fucking get-go. And then you won't have a reason for your workers to start unionizing and shit. And even then, you know, like, you know, they might just, you know, to keep, you know, some insurities on that type of shit. And, but either way, like, I mean, if you don't want them doing it or at least thinking about it, then actually make it, you know, worth a fuck to work there. And make it actually, you know, decent and worthwhile. And actually, like, have the benefits be good. Like, you know, everything that, you know, a union is actually fighting for when it comes to places that don't actually do that, which is pretty much most places. If anything, pretty much like 99% of them.
Restaurant can stay open.
Notice how he didn't cite a single policy that makes him liberal? Very interesting.
It makes him sound like a fucking worthless, sleazy-ass, parasitical boss that I want to fucking slap in the face. I mean, it's like, huh, so guess what? Conservative as fuck. Wow, like, if anything, like, he pissed me off more than anything. So, it's like, yeah, good job. Oh, he's so liberal. First service is a tricky one. It can be. I mean, definitely not gonna deny that. It was turned upside down by COVID. Oh, I know. I mean, I don't necessarily work in, like, the food industry, essentially in, like, bars or restaurants, but, I mean, I, you know a little bit about it, you know, at least, you know, on a more general level, considering my workplace being at least a part of the food service industry, too. Just more in the grocery element of it, but nonetheless, still adjacent to it. And yeah, and basically, especially in like the last year to year and a half, the shit's been, boom, you know, like been totally upside down and sinking. So it's like, like, it's insane, like, honestly. I mean, things I think at this point, right now, in the more immediate sense, are not like, I don't even know, honestly. It's like they are, but they aren't getting worse. I mean, it's like in some ways they are, but in a lot of ways they aren't. And it's like, oh jeez, it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And of course, I don't necessarily think it's gonna outright improve outside of actually getting the fucking contract in finally, because the boss decided to lie about it. It's like, oh yeah, we're implementing it. Meanwhile, they're literally not doing a fucking thing and, you know, just stalling it as long as possible. Starbucks is also doing that for some of their shops that were unionized as well, too. We're like, oh, so you got a new contract, huh? How long can we delay this until you're pissed off? It's just like, I mean, essentially the whole trick. It's basically a way to undermine the workers that did unionize or get their new contract and shit, to be like, this is what you get for, you know, doing your collective bargaining. It's their fucking way of being snivy and shit and basically, you know, smearing you. And at the same time, also sowing doubt and discord amongst the workers that are, you know, by making them be like, well, what the fuck was that all for in the first place if we aren't even getting it? You know, so then at that point, it starts sowing a lot of doubt in a lot of people. And, you know, even though it's not the union at fault for any of that shit, they're still the ones that got it through and everything. It's at that point the obligation of the company to enact it. And if they don't, then they're on their ass again. And at least, especially for mine, it's like they immediately were. They even got notified email and by text and shit saying like, yeah, just to let you know, like we have filed a class action suit against them, you know, about this. And it's like based. So at least for me, I'm just glad to know that my union is honestly starting to, you know, grow in their teeth a little bit, and I like it. Still want to meet the rep. I still haven't met her yet, which is still a little like, but I mean, that's just my weird fucking unfortunate luck about that shit. I just never, even when I show up to their office, like, no, she's on like a picket or something, or no, she's at like one of the stores right now. It's like, never have the luck.
Was so stupid, it almost made my head explode. The left has gone so fucking far left, so radical, that the right are the ones celebrating comedians and celebrating Chappelle. Now, first of all, whenever somebody points out that the left has gone too extreme, notice that that person is completely brainwashed. Whoever says this, they're brainwashed, right? Because we're in a
I kind of know somebody who's like that a little bit. Not this hardcore, but a little bit.
situation where the right, half of that party, half of Republicans are quite literally against democracy. They're plotting and scheming ways that they can send rogue electors to the Electoral College to overturn future elections. They're currently trying to find ways to gerrymander and do voter suppression so they remain in power in perpetuity. Studies have shown that the Republican Party has shifted to the right. We have a Democratic Party that's comparable to conservative parties in Canada and the UK. So to say that the left has gotten too extreme, it just proves that you're brainwashed. You've been watching too much Fox News, too much right-wing propaganda, and of course...
Or too many dumb fucks like Jordan Peterson or Joe Rogan and shit like that. I mean, it's not just Fox News that perpetrates this shit. They're one of the big conglomerates, but they're not the only ones.
Probably
because this, I mean, can also get to people that are somewhat left but might be more centrist-y leaning or maybe right leaning on some issues and shit like that, or to people who are just kind of down the line centrist or even like kind of center right. It's a lot easier for those type of people to fall into this type of shit than shift further right, hence the trends versus people on the left. Because people on the left are usually pretty principled in what they believe in and, kind of stick to it. But no matter what happens or what they do, we're just so radical, we're so crazy, communist, liberal, all that. It's like everything under the sun. And somehow we're just gotten more and more radical or whatever the fuck. It's like, and it's like, frankly, I don't even, it's like, whenever it's always mentioned, it's like, oh, what? Because during protests these days, people get a little bit more extreme. People being spray painted might smash a window or two. I'm like, oh wow, so radical.
He talks about comedy, and that's the reason why. That's evidence to him as to why we've gone too far to the left. Because
and honestly, it's like, even with that, like, who gives a fuck? Like, a lot of these comedians, even if they are criticized for whatever the fucking reason, they still get their shows, they still sell and blah blah blah. Like, I mean, it's like, what? Some of my favorite comedians were criticized, so, man, the right, protects them and celebrates them. It's like, oh my god, who gives a fuck? Like, fuck you. Like, I mean, there's plenty of comedians, like a part of comedy is also, to critique, when it comes to the commentary of it. So, it's just like, why don't, if you are at least, comedically, inclined and such, why don't you just make some comedy that, critiques, the people that critique them or some shit or whatever the fuck. Like, actually be a little witty about it instead of being crying little bitches. Like, ugh, oh my god, fucking Christ, these whiny little conservative bastards, man. Just get back to work and shut up. No, oh my god, quit, making fun of and criticizing my favorite comedians, and oh my god, my free spider. Oh my god, I'm so later.
I'm sorry, but whether or not you like a particular comedian says nothing about your political ideology. And just because we don't like the transphobic jokes of Dave Chappelle or Ricky Gervais, that doesn't mean that we're against comedy. We just don't like your dumb transphobic jokes. I mean,
yeah. And also at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean they're, like, not funny ever. I mean, I don't know or really care much about Ricky Gervais or whatever the fuck. But at least for Chappelle, like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of bits and a lot of things that I think are definitely funny, from him and shit. But yeah, it's weird transphobic jokes and commentary and shit like that is fucking stupid. And yeah, and can be kind of offensive. And I could definitely get how people are. Which I think is stupid, especially considering that, if he sees the intersectionality when it comes to, like, poor blacks and then, like, the poor class and shit like that, you should probably see an intersectionality between, like, the victimization and the plight of, trans people as well a little bit, but no. No, that's just, something I'm just gonna kind of rule out in my head. Not gonna really think about that, actually. Just gonna make, a couple jokes and even, kind of exploit one of my old friend or some shit that, like, killed themselves, apparently, in, one of his bits, from what I understand, or some shit. It's just like, yeah, fucking, at minimal distasteful, at least in my opinion, but, yeah, at least mildly offensive, because, like, bruh, really? It's like, seriously? I mean, it could definitely be something that you could criticize while still liking some comedy and shit, but, nonetheless, I mean, oh no, the end of the world, oh, oh, he's just totally never going to be able to recover from this financially. Oh.
I remember this video where Joe Rogan was calling out Carlos Mencia on stage because he stole a joke from Bill Cosby, but now these comedians that Joe Rogan claims we don't celebrate are just stealing jokes from each other left and right. I mean, how many times have you heard the same variation of the, well, if trans people can be trans, can I identify as an attack helicopter joke? I mean, on...
oh my god, that one's been beaten in the head so many quadrillion times that it's not even funny. Like, you could still find variations of that joke to this day, and it's older than it was. It's older than ever, you know, just like the first day it started.
He literally said, oh, well, if a man can be a woman, can I be Chinese? Like, that's actually something that he said. So you...
Wait, Gervais? Oh my god, that's not... okay, that's just honestly more borderline racist at that point. It's like, oh, if a man can be a woman, can I be Chinese? It's like, oh my... I don't even want to know how he did... I don't even want to know how that bit went. Oh my god. I bet, okay, I kind of want to, like, be like, I bet he was doing some, like, you know, kind of push in the side of your face a little bit to purposely make your eyes all, yeah, like, I don't even want to try to describe it. It's just like, oh my god. That's just like, okay, that's not even... It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, if you're some weird, dumb, edgy little 13-year-old, I guess that could be amusing, but you'd have to be a dumb, little, edgy 13-year-old, little, sad little bitch boy to basically think that. But I guess a lot of the mental attitude of a lot of these people tend to be about as confident of that, so. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You want to snag this. There you go.
Yeah, that looks full.
Yeah, just a little bit. Last week it wasn't, but this week it is.
Jokes, you repeat it, and then you claim that we're triggered because we're not laughing. No, your jokes are stupid, you're punching down, and your material is shit. You know, as comedians get older...
I mean, no shit. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that Gervais joke that he was mentioning is kind of like a double whammy a little bit, because, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck on trans people, but also on, you know, Chinese people, because, you know, I can make a little subtle jab at things, like, oh, this whole COVID thing, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, if anything, it could just be also, like, a little dog whistle jab at, you know, at other fucking people and other fucking groups. So, yeah, honestly, think about it, yeah, this, not only is it offensive, it's actually fucking racist.
Become naturally out of touch, and sometimes they have to recalibrate and talk to people so they understand what the normal folk, what the peasants are thinking. But because we're not laughing doesn't mean that we're against comedy. There are plenty of comedians who I love. I love George Carlin. I like Bo Burnham. I like comedy. I just watched David Cross's stand-up special, and it's incredible. So it's not that we're against comedy. We're against dumb boomer comedy, okay? Now, he says, I'm so liberal, like, I talk about it all the time. And then he goes on to state...
To basically, it's, I mean, I can say it for him. He basically goes on to basically be a fucking outright corporate boss man, being like, oh, why are you going back to work? You only can work 20 hours? Bullshit. Get back to work, peasant. You know, continue to be a little indentured debt slave there, buddy. It's like, I don't know, maybe improve the conditions or raise wages, and maybe we want to, you know, to have the feeling to not want to go to work. Maybe we actually would feel like, hey, there's an incentive for us to maybe actually kind of go work and enjoy it a little bit. Go figure.
Conservative, for example, he loves gun culture, and he's a cage fighting commentator. Again, I don't know what that has to do with political ideology, but if you're this uninformed about politics and ideology in general, I feel like maybe you shouldn't be commenting on politics as much as you do, but he's obsessed with it because I'm sure he's watching like Fox News, or I don't know what the fuck he's watching, but I mean, you have the same talking points as the right, so clearly you're getting it from somewhere. Perhaps Facebook, I don't know. But I mean, because you like
probably
fighting,
Facebook.
like I wouldn't necessarily deduce, oh, that's a right winger, but that's the exception. You know, he's mostly liberal, but you know, he's conservative in a couple of areas. He likes gun culture, and he likes to talk about cage fighting. I don't give a fuck what you talk about. Cage fighting, boxing, I don't give a shit, okay? That means nothing.
I mean, really don't. That's I didn't even really mention it, but I thought it was so fucking weird. It's like UFC cage fight. Like, how's that have to do with anything? It's like, at least when it comes to shit politically, because you like watching big muscular dudes like punch each other and wrestle each other and shit like that. I mean, okay. Whatever. I mean, if anything, it probably will say more about your sexuality more than your politics. But okay, you do you there, buddy. You do you, Joe.
He's such a fucking dipshit. Now, my favorite part is he gets to this point where he is seemingly going to explain why he is a liberal. He says, but I'm a compassionate person, and I believe that. And then he interrupts himself and says, oh boy, I'll tell you what though. And then what does he do? He goes on to attack workers using right-wing talking points. So the point where he was going to validate his argument, he interrupts himself to explain how conservative he is. And then he talks about his friend.
Oh, but he's not conservative at all, though. Hey, no, I'm actually very liberal. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're conservative as fuck. You literally can't even explain it without having to go into some weird conservative anti-worker jargon shit, you fuck.
His friend who owns a restaurant, is this the CEO of McDonald's? Who are we talking about here? Because this is a very rich person. But anyways, his friend who owns a restaurant, that led to him basically being against universal basic income because his friend who owns the restaurant had a worker who didn't want to work because they didn't want to lose their unemployment insurance. So because of that anecdote, Joe Rogan is saying, generally speaking, if you give people money just for free, they're not going to want to work. Except that is verifiably untrue because states who thought that same thing, well, they cut out those unemployment insurance benefits earlier than other states, and what happened? They didn't see growth in the job market. As Axios reported in September of 2021, states that ended federal unemployment benefits earlier this summer saw August job growth at less than half the rate of states that retained the benefits, according to new data released Friday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Leaders in the largely Republican-led states had insisted that the benefits were discouraging people from work and ended the assistance program early ahead of its planned expiration on September 6th. Economists analyzing the unemployment issue have seen little evidence that cutting off the benefits has provided a clear boost to local labor markets, in part because of difficulty separating the influence of the payments from larger shifts in the labor force, or of the potentially offsetting damage done by the pandemic, Reuters writes. So Joe Rogan
says, as if it's just like, hey, if we just give away, stop giving the benefits out and force these people back to work like the peasants they are, they totally go back to work. Absolute right. No, they won't. Because guess what? Even if they do, they'll literally just do anything else to make fucking do and make buy. I know plenty of people that are just like, yeah, I'm not gonna, work in this shit, boo, fuck that, and are, making do, or making buy. They will still pay their rent and shit, so it's just like, I mean, like, yeah, don't blame them. Hell, like, honestly, like, I'd probably, fucking do it too, but, I mean, it's at least a little bit more convenient, and, hell, at least, with the whole union aspect of it, at least I'm sticking around mainly for that, so.
On a massive policy like universal basic income based on one anecdote that does not denote general applicability. Giving people money for free by the government doesn't make them less likely to work. In fact, if you had a universal basic income type program, people wouldn't just stay home. They'd realize, okay, I have more bargaining power in the labor market, so I can get a job that I like and not just settle for one where I'm treated like shit. Also, I have more room, so perhaps, I can work a job and have even more extra money, put away some money, for a rainy day. But, Joe Rogan doesn't realize this. One thing that is incredible about the pandemic that Joe Rogan doesn't realize, he thinks that the takeaway is that people are just lazy, but the takeaway is that workers for the first time in our generation...
It's just like, it's just like my human nature, skills have been honed in, bro. Let me just tell you, DMT, just really did a lot for me. So it's like I saw this pandemic has truly, shown, the true nature of human nature, bro. And then we're just fucking lazy. So it's like you gotta make them all work like the little serfs that they are. I tell you what, man, it's just like Jesus fucking you old worthless shit. I mean, it's curious enough that, considering that there's a mass labor movement that's, growing on the rise, from the video game industry to Starbucks to strippers, and strip clubs and shit, to all sorts of things. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of curious how suddenly he's shifting his tune a lot with this shit and being a lot more of a corporate straw boss, fucking conservative shitbag more than anything. I would say he's a temporarily embarrassed millionaire, but he's already a millionaire, so he's more of a temporarily embarrassed billionaire. He kind of wishes he could be on the stature of people like Bezos and Musk.
Up and acknowledging that they actually do have leverage over their employers. And so if Joe Rogan's restaurant owning friend wants workers, if he wants to make a living off of that restaurant, he has to acknowledge that the people who he hires also want to make a living. They don't want to work full time for you if they also can't support themselves. And at this point in time, workers have the ability to go to a different employer who offers a more competitive wage. And if you can't afford to pay that, then I'm sorry, Joe Rogan's friend, you can't afford to hire another worker. And the difference between getting money from the government through a universal basic income program and getting money through an employer is that there's stability that is inherent with a government check. So if you're getting that $300 a week in unemployment insurance or $1,000 a month through universal basic income, it's always going to be there at the first of the month, whenever the date is designated, assuming we ever get this policy, which we won't, but it's always going to be there. You can count on it showing up in your bank account on the day when it always does. But with your employer, there's no stability there. You're in this abusive relationship with a power imbalance where your employer can at any time pull the rug out from under you and cut your hours like that. But Joe
I mean, honestly, they do that a lot in my workplace and shit, especially if they're, in a sense, trying to kind of subtly try to get rid of you. They'll literally just cut your hours to fucking zilch and just kind of hope that you, don't show up and just, resign or quit or get, something different or something. Because the idea is to try to maximize the fucking turnover rate and shit, even though at this point there isn't really much of a turnover rate. So, like, if anything, it's just more people, that might be, dipping off and shit, and every now and then we get one or two extra people. It's like, oh yeah, totally sustainable. I mean, it's like, maybe it would be more sustainable if they actually, implemented the fucking contract into wages and actually, improved working conditions just outside of that in general and actually gave a fuck. But they don't. Because that's not, their fucking general interest at mind. And that's why, when it comes to, the fact that there's so much issues with staffing and understaffing and shit, it's just, at least when it comes to the unemployment aspect of it, just, showing that people are like, hey, I kind of have a little bit more of a bargaining power just by going, to places that I could actually, get something that's worth a shit, based on what company or what job is, being offered. And for the ones that aren't actually offering that type of shit, they're not going to get anybody. But for the places that are, they're going to get people working there.
So stability isn't even something that he can comprehend at this point. When you have millions and millions of dollars and your work, your job is just talking, then it's easy to get a little bit out of touch and call everyone else lazy. But I'm assuming that Joe Rogan wouldn't want to work for, $12 an hour at a restaurant and deal with Karens during a pandemic where you're required by state law to tell them to put on a mask, but yet they're screaming at you and they're calling you fucking a Soros shill. Joe Rogan wouldn't want to subject himself to that, but yet he expects everyone else to do these shitty jobs that are required to keep society running. No, you do the job, Joe Rogan. You're going to complain about workers being lazy. You go fucking get a job.
Oh my god, honestly, I'd love to see him do like some courtesy clerk work or some shit, hauling fucking carts and stuff. Oh my god, he'd quit like 2 hours into it. It seemed like, try to work in my department. Oh my god, he wouldn't last a week. If that.
Restaurant owners, staff shortages, go fucking work. Why are you too good to work? Right? Why are you too good to do these things that you expect other people to do? It's because he's comfortable and doesn't care. He's totally detached from...
Because he's a total fucking straw boss himself, too, and that's why he has these type of fucking positions. Because he has his own little fucking business doing what he does, being a lazy little fucking bastard just talking on his ass all day, complaining and whining like a little bitch.
Normal people, so now he could just bark at the peasants when they don't get in line, and he thinks that that's going to resonate with people and thinks that it's going to prove that he's liberal. Of course not. Joe Rogan is out of touch. Joe Rogan is a conservative, and he refuses to admit it because I don't know, he's I think mostly just kind of been either apolitical or liberal leaning, but at this point in time, for all intents and purposes, you are a conservative. And just saying that you're a liberal isn't going to make people think that you're a liberal because what you're saying substantively is deeply, deeply conservative, and it is propaganda at the behest of the right.
And just, for the corporation, too, and the straw boss, which is all inherently, defensive of right-wing ideology anyway. So, what's the difference? But, man, it's definitely ain't the first time, he's been, shitting on workers and, within, like, this year, let alone, like, during COVID and shit. He's done this at least, like, a dozen times now. It's like, yeah, And for me, it's just like, I wonder why, I find him in such disdain. Because he's basically just like a fucking hyper anti-worker straw boss fucking shitbag lazy fuck. That smokes cigars and drinks and, complains and whines when the peasants, don't do what, they do, where he and the rest of this little fucking owner class ilk, can fucking, get their little mimosas or their fucking little steaks and shit, their little fancy restaurants or whatever the fuck. Or whine about how the workers aren't showing up to my friend's restaurant. Yeah. It's like, maybe they should pay him better. Maybe the work conditions should be better. I don't know. Maybe instead of having a profit for, the one quarter, maybe he should, take a loss and have, put some of that money into some shit. But short-term profits, I need to make more money. I need to make more. Money. Gotta be the Mr. Krabs of our day. Gotta be the biggest Mr. Krabs of them all. I gotta try to be Bezos. I gotta try to be Musk. Money. Baby, what you doing? What you doing, little Zukov? Oh, you little goofy boy. You sweet little baby boy. Me. Oh, look at Zurk. Oh, you're just a handsome boy. Yes, you is. Yes, you is. You're just a good boy. Here, see whatever little fun things on the tube. What the fuck? Kyle uploaded 12 hours ago. Report. Putin allegedly has 2 to 3 years to live. Oh my god, Kyle, what is he delved into? I'm actually kind of curious, I guess.
I have.
Oh, it's a Daily Mail thing. Vladimir Putin is given 3 years to live by doctors due to his rapidly progressing cancer. FSB spy claims. Has no more than Sherman reportedly severe former because honestly, that probably explains why he's like so gun-ho to try to do a lot of expansionism and shit. It's like, I'm almost going to die. I wanted to make sure I can maximize what I can, the power I have left and shit. And then try to have, someone who can usurp my throne. Because that is right, he does have like a fucking cancer, I think, or some shit. Like pancreatic or something. At least reportedly. But I know it's been, pretty consistent thing, because I know there's like a lot of, reports about his health, especially in the last recent years. So, be interesting to see how the next couple years play out over in Eastern Europe then, I guess. Hopefully that ends up being actually creating a power collapse, with the current state, but I don't necessarily see that being a totality. But maybe to at least a certain degree, where there can at least be some more democratic reforms there. Bye. Here, See if there's anything else. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much else at this point. I'm recommending you was a report from last year, or 2 years ago, June 5th, 2020. Oh man, I remember that year. I know, it's the thumbnail too. This is nostalgic. That's some nostalgia right there for me. Yep, been there. Done that. Though I'll still do it. What's up, baby? What's up, little baby? Little zoo calf. You see something? Your eyeball on the ground. I wonder if... Huh? Rip City, you how many weeds have you drank and how many beers have you smoked? Because you've just been kind of just... I'm being the Protestant. What? Whoa! Sukov! Oh my god. Zukov! Hey! Zukov! Zukov! Hey! Hey! No. Partisan. So like a protester, artisan, protagonist? I don't know. What happened to Stefan? Rip, what happened? Are you good? The plot thickens. I'm kind of drunk. I know that. That's why I was asking, how many beers have you smoked? How many marijuanas have you injected? Like 7? Damn. I think. You think. What were you doing? What were you doing today? This sounds awesome. God damn, son. I know. I lost my Jace. Jace. I'm assuming this is a massive typo, so I'm going to try to figure out what's going on.
Mr. Schnoz.
Case? Oh, jacket at the brew pub. Need to make a return tomorrow. Oh, no. I do that all the time. So frustrating, right? Dude, even when I'm sober, it happens all the time, and I hate it. What in the fuck? Left my jacket at Amsterdam Cafe one time and I ended up getting stuck in a blizzard downtown. Damn. That sucks. Ooh, Elvis trailer and review and commentary. Ooh. Dope. They're doing like a biopic of Elvis, and the guy who's playing Elvis actually is singing as well. And it's just like, oh damn. Like, I actually want to see this a little bit. So I kind of want to... Because I'm down to check this movie out if it ends up coming out in theaters.
Oh, I'm Elvis. Oh.
I'm Elvis, baby.
Alright, so Elvis Presley.
Gonna be driving those hips now.
Got a movie, finally. I don't know, I guess there's probably been Elvis movies before this, but this is like the Elvis
Long
movie. I guess.
overdue, honestly.
This is like the one that's just called Elvis. It's fucking high budget, it's got Tom Hanks in it and shit. It's like...
Baz Luhrmann.
I don't know who the fuck Baz Luhrmann is.
Baz Luhrmann.
Moulin Rouge, Australia, done a bunch of big movies.
Okay, well I don't like any of those movies that you just listed, so... gives me pause about this,
You might
but...
not like
Gives
this
me
one.
pause.
Dude, honestly, most people get biopics, and I'm just like, why are they making a biopic of this motherfucker?
I mean, yeah, Elvis
Man,
probably
Elvis-
deserves a biopic.
I mean, Elvis deserves it.
Elvis, man. How about Elvis,
baby.
though?
Yeah, you know, Cash got one, so why, you know, Elvis needs one.
Elvis?
Man, ask about Elvis, bro. Let's watch Elvis.
Elvis.
I'm motherfucking Elvis, bitch.
I'm Elvis, baby.
Talking shit to me, I'll fucking smack your goddamn face, motherfucker.
I'll smack your face, motherfucker. I'll tell you
Give
what.
me a fucking banana.
I'm looking.
Peanut butter sandwich, motherfucking piece of shit.
The
Deep
Elvis
fry that
Elvis
son of a
version.
bitch. Uh-huh.
Oh,
I'm gonna eat me a motherfucking Elvis sandwich.
oh, you know, I still want to eat an Elvis sandwich. It's like, it's straight up, it got some bananas, it's peanut butter and jelly on like a gigantic fucking like French bread that's like carved out. And then you have a bunch of bacon on it, and then you like deep fry that bitch. And honestly, it just sounds like the most amazing thing ever, but like the worst thing health-wise for you at the same time. But goddamn, do I want one.
I love that about Elvis, too. He got super fat at the end of his life.
I'm a big fat piece of
I'm
shit.
a big boy.
Still Elvis.
Yeah. It wasn't a piece of shit, though.
Every night, cause I'm Elvis. Oh. It's all true. It's all true.
Probably true, though.
I love Elvis.
Some would make me out to be the villain.
There are some who make me out to be the villain.
I'm assuming this is gonna be the manager for Elvis, the possible Nazi, not Nazi guy who has most certainly probably have whacked a couple people.
It is because I killed the... I mean, la la la, I am in America now. Great time.
Yes, I live in America.
I mean, hello.
Hello.
For your paper, I mean...
It is I, the kind
I honestly do believe it was a guy a Nazi.
yes.
I'm a colonel, yeah.
From Germany.
I am not racist at all.
I love all the races, yes. I don't know why. Me and Scotty have a personal meme about Colonel Tom Parker being a Nazi. I don't think he actually was.
I don't think he was.
I don't think honestly
anyone
it
believes
was.
he was. That's just us. That has nothing to do with anything that's ever been said or done.
Just don't
let a good thing die.
I'm Elvis, bitch.
Are you born with destiny?
So young Elvis,
Got a little baby Elvis.
Farmland, wearing
Little farmer land, baby Elvis. Yeah, what was he wearing the lightning bolt for?
His overalls.
Got some overalls,
Saw
baby.
that yonder revival tent. Wandered up in there and seen all them black folk praising Jesus, and it touched young Elvis. And it gave him the power. It gave him the power and the voice. It gave his hips a swagger.
Dude, I would say, ripping off the Bowie thing, right? But I mean, it's Elvis. He came before David Bowie.
Yeah, he came before Bowie, so you can't say he ripped him
Can't say it
off.
that way. Maybe Bowie ripped off Elvis.
You know,
he
even
ripped
as
off anybody.
Even as a kid, Elvis liked to fucking wear a lot of, fucking eye makeup and shit. It's crazy. You know, he's like, wear a lot of eyeshadow,
Yeah, strangely enough, a little boy like him is wearing a lot of eyeshadow.
Mascara. Even young Elvis, he dabbled in mass grave and that. I mean, he got him beat up a few times, but he didn't care. You know,
You didn't get there. No, I'm
right?
Elvis.
The Mississippi mud holes.
Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, he just sang out. Maybe
I'm still wondering why he's wearing a
My
thunderbolt.
mascara, I'll fuck you in the ass. Oh, my
Stomp
Elvis.
your ass into a Mississippi mud
I'm a
hole.
motherfucking Elvis, you piece of shit. Yo.
Knocking at your door.
Oh, yeah, hallelujah.
Singer from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm actually kind of vibing with it. I like the
Hey,
beat.
from Memphis, Tennessee, right here.
Mr. Elvis Presley.
Who the fuck is that? We hate him.
Who's this weird, young yokel Mississippi mud hole flinging bitch?
We laugh at him because we's a big old crowd.
Where's the bunch of-
Crusty old white people. Crusty young white people, really. Who the hell is this jagoff? Why the hell he dressed all stupid? There's people in the crowd dressed more ostentatiously than him, by the way. That they're all supposed to be looking at him like,
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's get a good gander at this. Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Like, oh wait, hold on. I'm seeing a guy first row, like third, like kind of second or third on the left. But oh my dude, what shirt is he wearing? That is like some crazy flamboyant shit right there.
fuck is this guy?
Who's this son of a
What's going
bitch?
on here with this fucking
Hostile
clown?
crowd. Oh, look, you know, my first time.
Who's this weirdo?
A big.
Don't mind my weird ass shirt.
I don't know about this Elvis character.
I feel like
It was
I feel like
funny.
Elvis never got this reaction once in his life, but for this sake of this movie, they have to have the crowd. turn
Honestly,
around.
probably, yeah.
Elvis wins over the fucking rough
course.
crowd with the pure power of his Elvis charisma. They see him. At
If
first,
anything, this is going to be some of the dramatization of the film where this probably didn't happen the way it's going to portray it, whereas they're probably going to be like, who are you weirdo, queero? What are you doing with that weird haircut or some shit or whatever the fuck? They're probably like, oh, who's this little white fella? Oh, let's hear him, take a little dabble at the guitar right there. And then he plays it off and they're like, oh, damn, he's actually good. So if anything, that was probably the reaction more than anything.
fuck is this jagoff? And he starts singing like, oh my god, I instantly adore and worship him for he is perfect. Yeah, get a
Oh my god, was I right? What the fuck? Get a haircut, Buttercup. Oh my god. I didn't mean to predict that, but Jesus Christ. Wow, man, I was a little too on the ball. Oh my god.
His hair is longer than ours. What a weirdo.
He has like some strands of hair in his face, weirdo. Lol.
Dude, that guy.
Yeah, like his hair is very slightly longer than the rest of our hair.
It almost touches his eyeball.
I watched that skinny boy transform.
Into God. Oh my god, I want his dick.
Immediately, it's the word, burn. It's just like that's what starts it, and they're all like, and they all just like all the chicks immediately wet and everything. The hips begin to gyrate. All the chicks are just like, just go like googly eye mode. Everything. Oh my god. Wow, okay. This is probably gonna be the one scene that's gonna be, at least in my mind, a little cheesy, but you know what? It's some good cheese. I kind of like the cheese a little bit.
And it was like nobody starts like swaying his
Started
hips and
swaying
like
his hips, just
gyrating
like,
forward. And she's like, oh my god, yes.
She's like,
That on.
she's got a wet ass pussy for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Dude, look at the guy.
Like her
with the
fucking
comment, too.
boyfriend's like,
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, dude. Oh my god, he's just like, excuse me, why are you looking at him like that? You never looked at me like this before. Oh my god, he does not look at me.
What the fuck? What's a group?
Okay, that 100% definitely happened very frequently in these shows. Like, all the girls are like her, and then you got the guy and their boyfriend, or like their little boy pal or whatever, and they're like, oh, wait, you never looked at me like this before. What the hell? It's like, wait, what?
Don't worry about that.
Wet ass P-word. Making that pull out game week. Wet ass P-word. I like how I still can't get over the fact that he censored P-word or censored pussy, but not ass. I mean, there's like, he was selective with it. It was so weird. It's like, okay, bro.
That would be arousal, son. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what a woman looks like when she actually wants the dick.
Ah, yes, Elvis.
And this guy's instantly just like, I gotta exploit the fuck out of this. Get out of my way, y'all.
I exploited the Third Reich, and I'm going to exploit you, Elvis. What's the Third Reich? Nothing. Do not worry about that comment. I'm going to make you a star.
Oh, what's that right there, baby?
Will be the new Führer.
I don't know why that's such a meme with them.
I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley.
Well, with that accent, I can see why. I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley. It's just like, okay. Was that actually Tom Hanks? It sounded... It is! He actually kind of donned a little bit of a German accent for it. Oh, he did a little bit of a German accent for the role.
Are you ready to fly?
Are you ready to fly?
I can try.
I guess.
Down to his death.
All right, I'll try it, sir. No, Elvis, no!
Damn it.
Why, Elvis, why?
Why does this keep happening?
I'm ready. Ready to fly.
Tomorrow, all of America will be talking about Elvis Presley.
The way that he moves.
And that's also the actor singing, too. So, honestly, like, considering he legit sounds pretty good, like Elvis as well. I mean, pretty close to him. You know, it's just like, you know, honestly... I mean, that alone, like, considering how he's, like, really, you know, like, so, like, character, you know, method acted into the, you know, the role so well, that's, like, I mean, I just want to see it for that. Kind of like how fucking, Joaquin Phoenix did, you know, with, Cash, like, and how so well he fit in with that role.
Wrong.
This movie, honestly, I mean, you know, like, it's outside of some of the quick little moment of cheese there for a second, you know, honestly, I'm liking it. I like this.
Well, of course, you have to have the meteoric rise of Elvis, and then people go, oh, that was some pearls for me to clutch.
The pearl clutchers! Oh my god, I'm gonna have so much fun gawking at what they make the pearl clutchers look like. Being all these weird old ass women and old haggy ass ladies just being like, our daughters are being defiled by your evil satanic ways, you
Wholesome enough for America. Yeah.
This is not wholesome.
What happened to good, wholesome, clean?
What happened to Judeo-Christian values?
That was a musical. It's like, yeah, it's like, fucking funny now.
Oh, grab his cock. Oh, I got
baby. Yeah.
Grab on it.
Some people want to put me in jail.
They want to put me in jail just for being
Because
so
I've been a little
sexy, you know.
I'm too sexy for America. Oh, I'm Elvis, baby.
They can't handle the Elvis energy.
I mean, honestly, a little bit. That's pretty much kind of it. Like, I mean, like there was such outrage about it, like you know, like thinking it was like explicit sexual material of him gyrating his hips and all this shit because it was just so verboten that it's like I'm just basically too sexy for America. They're trying to jail me because I'm too. It's like it's pretty much what the fuck it was. Like, wow, damn. I mean, it's a little hyperbole, but I mean, it's kind of true though. I'm too sexy for America. They have outrage over my.
Needs to be Elvis is like trying to shit, and he finally gets a turd out and dies. Needs to be the end of it.
Gotta take a shit on.
Gotta take my final shit on.
Go back up. Too many Elvis peanut butter and jelly and bacon sandwiches. Oh no!
I'm fucking dead.
Had too many of those Elvis
Trying to take a
images.
shit. I'm dead in the bathroom. Heart fucking exploded. Yeah. I'm Elvis. Didn't really rhyme. Looked like kind of John Travolta-ish there for a second.
Oh yeah, I did for a minute.
Might put me in jail for walking across the street, but you're a famous white boy.
Woke.
Woke.
Yeah, bullshit
in the
guy.
movie.
Bunch of woke fucking garbage.
I'm done with the movie, TJ.
Why the fuck everything we try to watch nowadays is just shove their woke agendas in our fucking throat?
It's not like
Racism in the 1950s and 60s? Whoever heard of such a thing?
it happened, dude. Bro, look how much
That's just the CRT liberal agenda right there, brother. Let me just tell you, brother, that's nothing right there but the CRT fucking liberal commie agenda. They're just trying to make everything woke. Woke. Goddamn, they ruined my Elvis just by making it woke. Damn fucking communist liberal son of bitches.
And people would not have been like that. That's so true. So fucking true, bro.
True, bro. That's right, brother.
You're going to jail for being too sexy.
Being too sexy there, you son of a bitch.
Damn you, Elvis.
That's a crime against America. You're too sexy.
You shot Martin Luther King. You're going to jail for shooting Martin Luther King, Elvis.
I think I'd also do when Elvis goes to the White House, showed up randomly at the Richard Nixon White House and like, I'm Elvis, baby, let me in.
I'm Elvis, motherfucker. Open up the goddamn door.
Oh, yes, let Elvis in.
Oh, yeah, that'll help me get some votes, maybe.
I might give me some votes.
Oh, look, Mr. Nixon,
Let
I
Elvis
have
in.
an honorary badge and you'll find government here.
Look, Mr. I got some suggestions how to run this fucking country, all right?
Let me just tell you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Make it socially.
Very, very
First thing you need to do there, Nixon, is to make sure that's legal for people like me to be legally sexy. Right now, as it currently stands, under your administration there, baby, I am too sexy for America. They're trying to arrest me because I'm too sexy there, Nixon. You need to make sure your first piece of legislation there, baby. Let me just tell you, baby. You need to make sure that being too sexy is not a crime.
That's all right for you.
Tragedy, but it has nothing to do with us.
It has everything to do with us.
Elvis had a social conscience, baby.
Yeah, the social conscience, baby. Damn. These goddamn liberal communist son of bitches are trying to even wokeify Elvis. Trying to make him woke. Even though I bet like half the people that might bitch about that, if at that point, if it's still like such a crying little meme, in the sense of for some reason being a part of that, like Elvis actually was legit like kind of socially aware and shit at the time. And I think he, one part of it being like he actually did give credit to a lot of black musicians and shit that took for and shit, because there were a lot of other white musicians that just straight up outright appropriated fucking black music and a lot of black music culture and shit, and just were like, yeah, it's ours. But there's a few kind of like Elvis that were actually like, no, there's other people that are doing the shit that I'm doing now, who did it way before I did.
Look, Elvis.
I mean, hence, like, him going to the whole, like, revival thing at the beginning and shit. It's just like, I mean, him being experienced, being influenced by it, and, over time putting it into his own music.
Sad, so sad.
Yes, I cry many tears for the Martin King persons, yes.
It's very, very tragic.
But it is nothing, it is of no consequence to us, no.
It has everything to do with us,
Well,
baby.
it's got everything to do with us, baby. Elvis is socially conscious, baby.
Right, Elvis, we'll do what you say, but it's bad move for you, Elvis, but I do it, but I love you, Elvis, so I do what you want.
And that's why I gotta go out there and I gotta say to people, shooting Martin Luther King Jr. is wrong, y'all. Don't be doing that shit. Elvis don't like it, motherfucker.
I guess that just shows you
Never don't like
how little we've advanced socially in this country. It's all like, I'm gonna make a bold stance. Killing people is wrong.
Oh, the blasphemy!
God damn it, Elvis, you son of a bitch. Austin Butler, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, baby.
Colonel Sanders.
Sounds like Son Loyal from Dark Matter 2525. A little bit.
The Reverend once told me.
Things are too dangerous to say.
Yeah, you gotta sing them. If something's too dangerous to say, baby, just
You guys sing it out, baby.
And that's why all my songs are so deep and meaningful. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Like,
Okay, I mean, TJ, I love you, but just because he had, the major hits, the main songs that a lot of people know of Elvis, doesn't mean he wasn't doing that. Come on, TJ.
Elvis was not like this social fucking,
I mean, a little bit.
yeah, there was not like a whole lot of politics in Elvis's songs, unless I'm like, there's like a treasure trove of Elvis's political music that I'm just like not aware of. But
I mean, like, I'm sure there is. I mean, maybe not a treasure trove, but like, I'm sure if you actually look at some lyrics of different songs he has, yeah, I'm sure you can find it. Like, there's a lot of fucking like different musicians that will do it and shit. like a lot of like different metal music that I've listened to, blues music, jazz music. Like, I mean, well, maybe not so much for jazz because it's mostly instrumental, but I mean, at least when it comes to a lot of songs that has lyrics in it, like there's, you know, sometimes there's legit political commentary. It might be subtle, you know, might not be so overt, but it's there. Some of it could be very overt.
Stretch of the imagination, so maybe there was, but I don't recall it.
I mean, like, honestly, for example, like Johnny Cash, like, he has some pro-worker songs. Like, there's, he actually did a cover of If I Had a Hammer, which is a historically been a pro-worker type of song. He has his original one, Oni, which is very overtly a very pro-worker song and shit, talking about how once he's retired, he's going to be the fuck out of his boss. So, you know, it's like, hey, it's 4:30, where are you, Oni? You know, it's like, I love the outro to the song, it's so great. I mean, but also at the same time, you know, it's like, it's a very outlaw mentality about it too, you know, when it comes to its commentary, which is also what I love. I mean, that's how overt it was, at least for that song. It's not like a popular song of his, but, you know, at least a lot of working class folks probably know about it. I definitely do. It's a good song.
I'm trying to think of, like, even one song of Elvis's that addressed even one social or political issue. Probably, like, In the Ghetto would be the closest I could think of.
Yeah. Like, that definitely has some social commentary about it. It's in the song title. I mean, I don't know much about the actual, like, song itself. If I have, it's been a long time since I have listened to it, but yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you know, hold on, let me take a screen down. Let me look at the lyrics. You know what? Since we're down in the Ghetto, Elvis Presley lyrics, let's check that out. Because I'm down to check out that yeah, here we go. Lyrics. Yeah, let's see. As snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, poor little baby child's born in the ghetto. His mom cries because there's one thing she don't need is another hungry mouth feed in the ghetto. People, you don't understand, the child needs help. And yeah, this is very political. Like, this is honestly a very strong political commentary about, like, the social economic conditions and poverty, at least mainly talking here in Chicago. Oh, it even gets more. People you don't understand, a child needs helping hand, or he'll grow to be an angry young man someday. Oh, well, that's even prevalent to today. Weird. Like, yeah, this is a very political song. This is a pretty political as fuck song, and based, if anything. Like, there's a lot of commentary in this one. Like, yeah, TJ, yeah, you know what? I might have to make a comment on that video about that a little bit, because you might actually see it. Because, like, I mean, there's a lot of it in here. I mean, honestly, it even goes further. It just, I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, really, it's talking more, I mean, the main commentary is basically talking about, you know, a disenfranchised, impoverished young man who basically, you know, like, gets desperate due to the fucking situation of the poverty, due to the, you know, collapse of the socioeconomic conditions that, you know, of Chicago, at least, you know, in the song specifically, but it goes into, you know, greater meaning and more metaphorical to other, you know, shit that is pretty prevalent even today, more so today even. So, yeah, Elvis definitely has got some music and some lyrics and shit that are very strongly socially political in its commentary. Definitely.
Oh, baby child was born in the ghetto.
I'll look into it. I'll look and see if I can find any of the stuff.
I mean, there definitely is.
I'm before the shit, and nobody's gonna remember me.
Nobody's gonna remember me.
Poor Elvis, dude.
Nobody gonna remember Elvis.
You know what they're gonna remember, though? They're gonna remember that Elvis sandwich. That thing's goddamn delicious.
Goddamn, they're gonna love that.
That Elvis sandwich was indeed delicious there, baby.
I ain't had that sandwich, you know.
I need to get back to who I really am.
I've lost my way.
And who are you, Elvis?
I'm Elvis, bitch.
I'm Elvis, baby.
Yeah.
I just gotta be making the most of this thing while I can.
Oh, hold on. Ooh.
closest thing black
Do we see a little bit of a chunkier Elvis there? Oh, it looks a little chunkier there. Oh, then we might get to see a little bit of fat Elvis too.
This cow will be over.
I saw some glimpses of Fat Elvis in that
Yeah, I did too.
little montage.
Yeah, that's what I'm really waiting for. Is like his Las Vegas residency stuff, where Elvis like balloons. Like
yeah, I want to see what goes on there.
Got a fat ass, eating all the time. If you ain't got a burger, then you ain't no friend of mine.
Elvis, will you sign my cheeseburger?
Yeah, I'll sign it with my fucking digestive system, baby. You can have it when it comes out the other end.
If it ever actually does.
It
Probably won't know, yeah. Probably won't know.
Same, you and I. We are two odd, lonely children reaching for eternity.
That's why I think he's a German. That's like a German thing to say.
That's such a It really does sound like a very German thing to say.
One who will make sense of everything. I thought it was another man. A man I held dearly for many years. He failed.
But he has failed and he has died, Elvis. But you.
Yes, I did.
You will look into the abyss, Elvis, and you will see something that no man has seen. You will become the Superman, Elvis.
Oh.
That's right, baby.
All right, baby. The greatest show on earth.
I'm Elvis, baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's actually coming out soon. And it's only in theaters. But, ooh. It's actually basically in 23 days. Ooh, I might actually, check this out. I might actually want to see this.
You got a shit ton of money.
Buy my fucking movie, piece of shit.
That's right, baby.
You be honest with me now, baby. You gonna see Elvis?
Oh,
You
baby,
gonna see Elvis,
I can't
baby?
help but go see Elvis Presley now.
Can't help but see it, baby. Oh,
Give me a smack of my hand.
That's right, baby. Oh, definitely gonna be seeing some Elvis, baby. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that the trailers definitely make me want to go see it, and I definitely want to, most certainly check it out. If anything, it makes me want to kind of check out more of Elvis's discography, because I mean, it's probably probably fucking endless. I mean, not like endless, but it's definitely a fucking lot. Definitely a shitload. But now I'm kind of wondering what other type of political songs and stuff that Elvis might have had and shit. Because I know at least in the Ghetto that one definitely is. I would listen to it, but I don't want to ding myself. I took off, you sweet baby. No. You look very snug and cute right there, don't you? You're looking very nice and comfortable. Yeah, he looks comfortable. Oh, little sleepy head. Just a little sleepy lazy boy. I would try to scratch his head, but I can't exactly reach over there to do that. Why aren't you sleeping like that on the other side? Why can't you just mirror yourself and flip? Speaking of Dark Matter, I actually want to see is my boy Dark Matter upload some shit? Has my boy upload some shit? Yep. Oh wait, no. No, I already saw this. Goddamn, it was a month ago. Ultimate hypocrisy. Fuck, I already saw that. Boo. He hasn't uploaded anything recently. I thought he did. Because I could have swore I thought I saw a notification not too long ago, but maybe I was just recommended one of his older videos. Boo. Baby. Man, he's just knocked the fuck out. You're just knocked the hell out, aren't you, baby? See what other random little fun things are around to check out. Not really too much. Not really too many other things aside from, I guess, the usual bullshit. Same shit, different day. What else is new? What else is new? But hey, at least there's some positive things about the same shit. Kind of. Slow burn, but nonetheless, there's some out there. But figure I'm get myself some food here. Get this one little bowl smoked out and all that fun stuff. And oh, so coffee woke up. Little baby. Baby. You sweet little thing. Bye. You goof. You a goof. Seriously? Oi. I will poke you. I shall poke you with the thing. Yeah, hi. You goof. You goofy, silly thing. Ooh. That was an unexpected burp, but very provable one. Oh, your little yards are so cute. You silly little baby. But anyway, call it good for the last little bit of this lovely little evening. But of course, I'll be back around for the next one. So